Hey, everybody, it's Tuesday. Welcome to the Giant Bombcast, episode 846, powered by NZXT. I am your host, returned, kissed by the sun, bathed in the seas of Maui, Jan Cho. Joining me, co-captain of the ship, seafarer extraordinaire. He's in the crow's nest with a telescope, saying, "There she blows." Jeff Grubb.
I pretend the couch in my basement is a boat.
How quaint. We got our own navigator. He's writing maps. He's typing them out. He's got a protractor and a compass and a peg leg to boot. Jeff Bakalar.
Yarr. Hi. How's it going?
And no crew can be complete without our own star player, Lucy James.
Oh, hi, everybody. I don't know why I did a Dr. Nick. Wow. Goodbye.
All right. Well, that's been the show, everyone. We'll see you next week. Thanks for joining us. How's it going, everybody? I'm going to say this now. I missed you.
Yeah, I missed you too, Jan.
Yeah.
I was texting Nikki of like, hey, what if we just banked a week of content and we just took a vacation together?
Yeah.
Yeah. Team trip.
That's a good idea.
You know?
Where would we go? What were you thinking?
Maui.
Yeah, let's go to Maui. I'm an expert now.
I would like to go to Japan.
Okay.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
I mean, honestly, if we're going to go to Japan at some time, at any time, we should go now because the yen is
Low.
not doing so
Okay,
great.
I did have this thought of like, what if I just bought a bunch of yen right now, and that way I have it, so that if it does go back up, I'll still just have it. And then I'll have I could just use that when I do go to Japan. Is that
Don't. I just need to tell everyone now, do not seek financial advice from us.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, this is just
that
a Jeff
what-
Grubb idea.
Is that what shorting is?
No, that is not what
Okay.
shorting is. This
I was
would
gonna
be
say,
buying
don't short
low.
a national economy.
No, this would be
Again.
buying low. This would be beneficial to them because that I would be taking some of their currency out of their system, which would help their increase the value of it.
You'd be
I'm
pumping
just
the
gonna
yen.
look at flights.
But I did. Yeah, flights were like for me were down below 1,000. I don't know why I was searching flights to Japan. Not like I'm going to go anytime soon. My kids are very tiny. But I was looking and it was below $1,000, and now it's up above like 1,700. So I should have bought. I don't know why.
It's one of those fluctuation things, you know?
Yeah.
What if
For
we
a
piecemeal
one
together?
week trip in the next 6 months for me, 800.
That's
Lucy,
not bad.
I'll sell you
730?
right now.
Yo, 7:30 to go to Tokyo from the 20. Shit, I'm at Gamescom.
That's not bad at
That's
all.
closer.
Yeah, it's a shorter flight. Go from
Yeah.
there.
What? From
Actually,
London?
no.
It's an 11-hour flight from here. It's an 11-hour flight just to get to London.
Listen, I don't
Yeah.
know what geography is like anywhere else in the world.
You're allowed to go the other direction, guys. You could just go that way instead of.
What? I only know California to Southern California to New Jersey, New York to Hawaii now. That's all I know.
Basically all you need.
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
I can still be a coastal elite.
Yeah.
I need to get this off my chest. I was thinking about saving this for the dump truck, but folks, what are the fucking odds? Sorry for cussing.
It's okay.
What are the odds that your boy goes to Maui? And then we've been percolating. We've been brewing up this idea of me starting up my own little coffee cart, a little coffee station, perhaps going to a local farmer's market.
You talking to the Kona people?
No, not the. I'm not talking to the Kona estate.
Okay.
Your boy goes. We're just, me and the partner. We're just rolling through Maui. We're just driving through, and then stop by a Target because mosquitoes be very attracted to your boy's blood.
Same.
I'm so sweet.
You're so sweet.
They
Thank you.
hate me.
That makes sense.
Do they hate you by
fear me.
they bite you or?
No, they don't bite me at all. They avoid me. I think they look at my skin and they're like, "Oh, marble."
You
not gonna
deny
touch.
them your essence.
No. If that's the case, then I would not. I would be immune to mosquito bites as well. And let me tell you something. I am a tasty delight for them.
So I'm peering across the parking lot, and I've not been particularly wowed with the coffee offerings of Maui.
Mm-hmm.
And then your boy sees like a little cute coffee cart parked across the street, and food trucks, big thing in Maui. I roll up and it's like, let's go. Your boy needs some caffeine before we do the road to Hana, which is a terrifying drive.
It's the best.
Oh my! Is it in a video game, folks? Is Road to Hana?
I don't
in a
know, but
video
that's
game
the
somewhere?
same thought
gotta
I
be.
had when I was there. I was like, this should be in a video game.
It's a very treacherous. I don't want to say treacherous, but it's a very windy road to drive through in Maui to get to like another part of the island. Anyway, roll up to the dude. Homeboy's Filipino. I'm like, all right, sick. Oh my god, this is a great cup of coffee. You know, I peep the setup inside. I'm like, damn, homie's got 2 of those machines, that espresso grinder, that for pour over, and you make matcha. Holy wow! And homeboy had fresh cinnamon rolls, and he was like, hey, brother, you know, we do our thing. We exchange the pleasantries. I creep on the guy's Instagram. Motherfucker's name is also Jan.
Yeah, of course. There it is.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
So what'd
And
that
then-
do to you? What'd that do to you?
I felt like the first time I met my barber, and that like I messed with the threads of the universe that I shouldn't have.
Yeah.
Do you ever consider in these situations doing a talented Mr. Ripley and just taking over his life?
I think about doing a disappearing Jan.
Okay, good. Same thing. All right, I
The
get it.
transported Jan.
The transported Jan, yeah.
Yes.
I mean, when you go to Hawaii, you're sort of like, what am I doing with my life?
Yes.
So that makes sense.
Yes. And then, you know, rolled up the next day because we were also in the area, and he says like, yo, brother, I didn't know you were famous. I'm like, no. You're just joshing me. And then from Jan, he says to me,
From one Jan
to
to another.
From Jan to Jan, appreciate you, brother. I'm like,
Aww.
Okay, good coffee from a Jan. I mean, that's a
great.
lifelong
I was
friendship
blessed.
right there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You meet the best people in Hawaii because it's mostly Americans who have like just taken the risk that everyone else is too scared to take, and they're all happy about it. They're all like just completely over the moon about their decision. They open up the coffee trucks, they open up hamburger stops, the tuna shop. Like, it's great. Everyone is working out for everyone. It's very
Open
expensive.
a law firm for
but-
the drug driving cases of the cast of Lost. That was probably a big business.
Yeah,
Right,
that was
exactly.
a big thing. It's weird that kept happening.
It doesn't
It is
matter.
weird.
don't worry, nothing's gonna ruin the world tour. Nothing's gonna.
Nothing. That was the okay. That I was trying to think of the other meme this week.
Oh, this is gonna ruin the tour.
Yeah,
What
it's good. What tour?
The world tour.
The world tour. That and Hawk Tour. I don't think either of those. Backlaw, you're right. They're not great memes, but they
Yeah.
are the memes we need in this
Oh.
moment.
No,
I
the
think Hot
world
Tour's
tour
a-
meme is great.
Listen, I think it's as good as I think it's as good as most memes, which is good. I'm fine. I'm happy with it. I'm not complaining. I'm just saying that like I was very happy to see like Twitter having one instead of like falling apart and being a nightmare constantly. They were all talking about these two things instead, and that was way better.
Against our common enemy, Justin Timberlake. Did you hear the conspiracy theory about that?
About JT.
About JT?
The Backstreet Boys set him up.
What
No.
finally.
No. So, a lot of artists right now are having a lot of trouble selling out their, unless
Yeah.
you're Taylor Swift, because they're putting them in these massive arenas and then charging like $150 for a ticket, and no one wants to pay.
Well, it's
So,
Ticketmaster's fault, but yes.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I'm going to see Beck in a couple weeks for $50, a reasonable
All
amount.
in?
Yeah, dude.
Is it not
Ticketmaster?
Ticketmaster?
Through Ticketmaster.
Interesting.
It's Berkeley, and it's got the Berkeley Symphony, and I'm very excited. Anyway, $50. I originally wasn't going to go because another website said it was $120, and I was like, fuck that. Anyway, so all these artists are paying, are not selling out these tours, and so there is a conspiracy theory that Justin Timberlake drunk drove because then the tour would get cancelled through insurance. And it would, because he would be in
Oh, that
court,
is-
and so he physically couldn't make it, and so he could cancel the tour without getting penalized hundreds of thousands for
It's
it.
not even a creative conspiracy theory.
It's a good
like,
conspiracy
That's
theory.
what makes it more realistic.
No,
though.
it's
like,
not.
yeah.
How do you get pulled over on purpose from
Because
drunk driving?
he was
It's a
doing
rookie
this.
cop.
He was
Yeah.
a rookie cop who didn't
in
give
the
a shit.
Hamptons.
Have you ever seen the Departed? Like he's probably been grooming this cop to be a cop for years, and he's like, in the moment, I'm going to call on a
Okay,
favor.
yeah. The cop didn't know NSYNC, but did the cop know Trolls?
Yeah, maybe he's a
Oh.
Trolls fan.
I tweeted that out at the time, but like, I can't remember. I think it was like People or something. They tweeted out like Trolls star Justin, and I was like, what did McElroy do? No, not those good boys. But no, it was Justin Timberlake.
He had one martini.
Well, apparently the martini was the all alcohol variety with no mixer.
I just love that that's the quote that he like was heard saying as he was like put into the cruiser. I had but one martini. What of it?
Why is he British now?
I don't know. That's just JT in 2024.
Groomed police state. Yes, that's right for Dongle.
Yeah, I had a fantastic time in Maui. I only trust getting poke from the shadiest liquor stores. If you need
Sure.
Rex, if you're going
Liquor
soon,
stores.
holler at your boy. Yeah.
Is that like gas station sushi? Is it the
Oh, yeah, but it's different. It hit
Okay.
different so hard.
all right?
Sorry to say, to my partner's behest, I still don't like snow cones though. I'm
What is
sorry.
a snow? It's just ice, and then you put like.
Yeah, snow cone
Flavored
is
syrup.
is unimpressive.
Yeah,
Okay,
it's the
Shaved
Hawk 2
ice.
of desserts.
Thank you for saying it, Grub. Somebody had to. It's an overrated meme,
So
and
brave.
you all have too low of a barometer for comedy in 2024.
I didn't know what it was until 20 minutes ago, so you can't put me in this.
I don't remember.
I'm a
what
big
my
fan of
highlight
Hawk 2, and I don't care who knows it. That's that I don't care if you judge me.
Yeah,
Jeff
no
Beck,
one.
or-
I don't dislike it. I just don't think
The
it
meme.
deserves. It
talking
deserves
about the meme.
The meme.
The meme,
Whoa, whoa.
You guys gotta be. You guys gotta
Hey,
be.
oh, hey, hey,
Hey.
hey.
Whoa.
Spit on that thing. Okay.
What?
Anyway.
All right.
God.
Hey, for folks that bought a ticket to the live show GBN Night, Google form has went out to holler at us so we can link that and get you the proper year or lifetime subscription of premium to the website. Don't worry. Nothing is broken down in the back end of the website where
Yeah.
that was really easy to do before.
It's just like it's like the Money Pit. You ever see the Money Pit? You guys
No.
ever see the film The Money Pit?
No.
I've actually never seen it.
don't
Oh,
know
it's
what you're
fucking
talking
good. It's
Is
good.
it like the little game show where you're in a money thing and then you
No,
gotta grab
if
all the
only.
dollars?
If only. That sounds way better. It's about Tom Hanks and who is it? Is that Shelley Long? I guess his wife.
It's I think there's another human actor in there. Yeah, that's right.
Anyway, they buy this like fixer-upper mansion house in the middle of nowhere, and it's just like everything's wrong with it. Everything's wrong, and it's just weeks and weeks of them renovating. It's just everything that could go wrong goes wrong. I'm not saying that's what the Giant Bomb website is like. I'm just saying, those two things pop up when you think about doing stuff.
Yeah, when you roll up to a store and then the handles are arranged in such a way that makes you think, oh, I have to pull this. But instead, oh, crap,
it's a
I got to
push.
push. And then you see the sign saying, please use the other door. That's
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 what the
good.
website's like. You know
Yeah.
what? I respect our website so much. I never go in the back end of it.
Yeah.
It's fun to spend an afternoon
Phrasing.
in, though,
Sure, just poking around, seeing what this lever does.
Like, legitimately, I'm like, oh, look at that.
Jesus, Lucy.
I didn't mean it.
Oh, I didn't. Okay. All right, everyone. God.
Goodbye.
First, Grub buys.
You have to degrade the website if you're going to do that. Absolutely. Yeah. Oof. Oof.
First, Grub buys gamer juice. Now
Got some right
all
here for
this-
you.
Stop. No.
Wait, what did you buy?
I bought Get Good, the gamer inhaler. Well, it's
No.
gamer poppers.
No, don't do it again. Don't. You told me you
not
saw
bad.
only purple for an hour last time you used it.
I didn't say that in a negative way. Oh, I got to open this one. Well, the other one's good for 6 months, but I lost it somewhere, so I don't know where to open this one.
Good.
I
I'm
guess-
glad you
It's
lost
nose
it.
torque, right? That's basically what it is.
What is nose torque? Is it because it's that?
It's like smelling salts.
Yeah, this is not smelling salts. This is like menthol, like sort of just take your mind to a different place for a second.
Okay. What?
No,
Oh
no
god.
one's-
Oh,
no one
he
is
puts it up
asking-
as not a big old
That's what it said-
nostrils.
That's what it says you're supposed to do. And the chat was
well,
yelling
that's-
at me for just sniffing the side, and they called me a coward.
Well, that's why we do the news segment after the break, and what we do
Is it
now.
called Get Good Poppers? I need to look at the ingredients list.
It says Get Good gaming inhalers. They're too cowardly to call them gamer poppers.
Gamer poppers.
Years ago, Mike Mahadi got some Gamer Grip.
Oh
Was the
yeah.
stuff that you put on your hands and you makes you hold your controller better? I don't know.
That is like I think the kind of stuff that like pitchers use to like throw faster, like specific kinds of pitches that's illegal in baseball, like pine tar or something like that. So that would chafe. Don't use that.
Is
Well, now
this
that-
AI generated
Oh, boy.
artwork as soon as you get on the website for Get Good Gamer Inhalers?
Let's take a look here. Yes.
Yeah,
I'm gonna say
100%,
yes.
right?
Look at that guy.
Well, now that
Hell yeah.
now that we've huffed our gamer fuel, our gamer poppers, I guess we should talk about video games. Yay!
All right. What have we snorted this weekend?
Oh, First Wave Coffee is the name of Jan's coffee cart out in Maui. If you ever find yourself in Maui, go to First Wave Coffee.
Did they go back to first wave after third wave? Is it like
I
looping
thought it
back
was
around?
very funny, and then I was laughing a lot to myself, and then my partner looks over and goes like, "All right, that's enough funny. It's not that funny." I wanted to play the Night Springs DLC, the Alan Wake 2
I
stuff.
still haven't
It's-
played that either.
It's 3 chapters. I believe it's semi-separated from the main story, but there is a spoiler warning that pops up. But I was having problems with Chiaki.
Yeah, what was going on there?
So this is no slight against the
Real
PS5
quick, for people who
version
don't
of
know,
the game.
this is the Chiaki's the app you can use on Steam Deck or I believe PC, right? To stream PlayStation games from your local console to another device, and it basically turns your Steam Deck into like that PS Portal, but better because it has HDR, unless it doesn't work. So yeah, what was going on?
Yeah, it was. I didn't have any audio latency issues any previous time I've used Chiaki.
Ooh, weird.
And it was weird because I got through like 70% of Final Fantasy VII Rebirth playing it through this method. A couple other like PS5 games here and there, like Valhalla, playing it through here. Audio completely fine, 1-to-1 sync, no problem at all. And then I thought, like, okay, cool. I'm assuming the Alan Wake 2 DLC isn't going to be super action heavy, or at least it should be in such a way where it'll be scaled back, where if I do have to bump it down to story because I am playing it through Chiaki onto my Steam Deck, and I'm just there for the story anyway, I'll still have a good time. However, for whatever reason, and again, this could be on me because I was using my AirPods paired to my Steam Deck, and that's how I'd been using it, but the audio was significantly behind by at least like 10 seconds.
So,
Oh.
10. Okay, that's
a
way
while.
too much. That's way too much. So AirPods use SBC codec, which is like the most basic one. I think they use AAC as well, but you're going to have about a couple frames of latency, up to like 10 frames of latency. You're not going to have 10 seconds. So no, that's not the AirPods.
Sean, I know that Bluetooth audio sucks. I just lost my like old iPhone little ear doodads, and I didn't want to wear a set of headphones in bed. But yeah, that's been my issue.
Yeah,
So
but
it's-
10 seconds is like a whole other. That's a
Yeah,
whole
that's
other
like
problem.
That's not
that's
even-
insane.
Yeah, I was like, oh, what is going on right now, Scout? What are you listening to that you're interfering with my Bluetooth waves?
That feels like the kind of thing that happens with these pieces of software. I think this is like open source software where it's like, they do their best, but they are adding something on top of a protocol that Sony makes, and when it breaks, like there's no obvious reason or way to fix it. So when that happens to me, I try a couple things, but I'm like, oh, that's just not going to work tonight. And then I come back to it. Have you tried since? It hasn't worked since then.
I did try firing it up this morning, and the latency was less than 10 seconds, but still like kind of unplayable, especially when
weird.
like there's so much dialogue happening in Alan Wake. That I just thought like, all right, I'll just table this for now and just play this at my desk later. But yeah, very weird. I tried firing up another game, and like I couldn't replicate the issue. Like Rebirth was completely fine. I don't know if there's
Weird. Okay,
maybe like
yeah.
a performance mode versus something happening.
I mean, maybe it's just happening on your local PlayStation and
Yeah.
you haven't seen it yet. So you're
Yeah.
going to go and find out that it's been doing the 10-second latency on there just for that game. It could be an Alan Wake problem.
Who knows? Who knows? I don't know. But I am very excited to check out those 3 DLC chapters. But what I wound up firing up on my Steam Deck instead, and y'all, I was not ready. I'm relaxed and everything from vacation. The tension has left my shoulders. I don't know how to act. I thought, like, okay, let's emotionally devastate ourselves.
Uh-oh.
So I played. I still don't know how to say this game. 1000X Resist.
That's how I would say it.
Yeah. How else can you say it?
I don't know. People don't say the X sometimes. Like, I just learned Hunter x Hunter is Hunter x Hunter and not Hunter x Hunter. And I look like a fool.
Oh.
People
I've
are
seen a
saying
lot of-
1,000 times resist.
1,000
Or maybe,
times.
Okay.
maybe that's the other way to say it.
Multiplier? Yeah.
That doesn't sound
okay.
right.
Sure. 1,000 times resist. This picked up a lot of buzz when this initially released, maybe like a month or so ago.
Yes, it did.
Indie game. This is very different than what I thought it was, because from the screenshots, I thought it was just gonna kind of be a loose visual novel style story-based game. But there actually is a little bit more to it. There is some light puzzle solving stuff, at least where I'm at right now. I'm only in the first 3 chapters, 3 if you're including like the little prologue bit. And it's neat because there's more puzzle solving to it, so there is more to it. There is a time shifting mechanic where you are kind of in the far flung future, what it appears to be, and say like a hallway's blocked off because of debris. You time shift back to the past, or at least a different time period, and then suddenly it's clear. So you're doing that a lot to navigate through the little map that you're in. Also, it's to find like specific NPCs that you have to talk to. And once you find the specific NPC that your objective is leading you to, you wind up going into like a 3D platforming area, where world big, you small type of dealio.
All right.
And you have to zip to these specific little portions, and that's just like kind of like a teleport blink that you just target with the right analog stick. But the strongest part of this game, Scout, I know you're also excited. I know you haven't been on a podcast in a while, all right?
Yeah,
chill
got a lot
out,
to say.
dude.
Yeah, she's into it.
Is the story bits, because so far what it's contending with is kind of your place in humanity and how you deal with just existence and like in terms of like time and place and permanence of it. And I didn't expect it to hit that hard right out the gate.
Yeah, everyone who's played this game says it hits very hard. Like that's
Yeah.
what I hear repeatedly from everyone. I also hear, Grub, maybe this is not your game, but then everyone does say, well, but I'm enjoying it a lot, and it's really making me very emotional. So what is it doing there, like to get that out of you?
I think the dialogue and the acting is very well done. Visually, the game looks very basic. Looks like a bunch of like Unreal assets with anime. But where it's really hitting is the writing and the performance. So just right out the gate, you're slowly learning about who your player character is and how they factor in, and whether or not like identity matters and how that matters, and how you're contending with that mattering in like the far-flung future where everything is more uniform versus how things were, I guess, perhaps in our time, where there is a lot more individualistic identity, and how you contend with losing that identity and becoming something more homogenized. Yes, it's more efficient, but you lose anything specific to you. And
So a Brave New
contend
World
with that.
situation. Gotcha.
Yeah. It kind of feels a little bit like that. Less. Yeah, I'm pretty early in. It could go whole Brave New World.
Never go full Brave New World is what I decided after reading that book a month ago.
But I find it very interesting. I really like the characters so far. I'm probably going to stick with it. I've seen a lot of people say it's not only their favorite game of this year, but it's also like their game of the decade, or like one of the best things they've ever played. So I'm very intrigued.
I'm moving it up my list.
Yeah,
Jeez.
I'm anticipating this may be for me a 13 Sentinels Aegis Rim.
Yeah, it's feeling that
deal.
way. Yeah, it definitely feels that way.
Yeah. This is definitely not a Dan game, I'll say.
Yeah, it's not very dewy, right? Even though it's not a visual novel, it's not super dewy.
Yeah, it's not super dewy where even so far where the puzzles are at, where it's like challenging or difficult. It's more like, okay, I'll just do that thing. Oh, here I am. Type of thing.
Sure.
And it seems like the game does reward you for, not reward you tangibly, but reward you with the story bits. of exploring around before you get to the specific objectives of like, oh, I'm gonna go talk to this grunt, I'm gonna go talk to this student, and that further contextualizes and fleshes out the story of who you are or where we are going. And I'm ready to have an existential crisis immediately after vacation. You know?
Yeah, that's what you need. That's it, just to get back in the swing of things.
Totally.
Back to baseline.
Yeah. I was very confused by what this was, but I'm gonna go with The Bed We Made. Who's
That
been
was
playing
me.
this? Oh, okay. Lucy.
This I think it's this bed we made or that bed. I forget.
Yeah, this bed we
This
made is
bed
what's
we
written
made.
down here. Yes.
Is I saw it because it was a TikTok, and I'm a mark for TikToks. But basically,
Yeah,
it is a
same.
game for me. It's a kind of adventure / immersive sim. Not really immersive sim. No. I take that back. It's very immersive. It's not a sim. So you play as a maid in a hotel in the 1950s.
Oh,
and
the bed we
someone-
made.
and then someone gets murdered. Someone gets moided.
Oh.
And as you are doing your usual cleaning of the rooms, you can look at things and then you try.
Oh, that's why
basically
this is also a
solve it.
Lucy game.
Okay.
Because I'm nosy.
So you're rummaging through people's belongings.
Yes, but you can do things like you can throw away things. So you can throw away and basically tamper with evidence. You can
that's
get
fucked up.
some people fired. You can listen, overhear like people's conversations. There's even like there are 2 people who work at the hotel who you can kind of decide to befriend. It's great. I don't want to say too much about it because I finished it in 2.5 hours. It was
Oh, wow.
it was good. It came out at the end of last year. I totally missed it. But if you want like a little noir mystery that was actually pretty fun, pretty satisfying.
She's got a board with like string attached to it, like a crazy person. That's great. That always gets me excited for a video game. Okay,
A board with a string attached
like
to it?
the
Like
map,
a
the
cork
map
board,
the
yeah.
cork board thing.
Oh,
where, like,
right. Yes. With the red string and everything.
Yes.
And yeah, and there are some nice little tactile puzzles in there. Like one of my favorite things is a tactile puzzle. So like things like Little to the Left, where you can like pull things in, you know. And there are like ripped up pieces, ripped up notes. There is a code to crack.
Oh,
Oh yeah, I had a great-
cipher.
yes.
Cypher, good.
Okay, yeah. Everything you said is like better than the last thing you said, and I was already kind of interested in this. I saw the image of the cover art for this game, and I was like, okay, that looks interesting, looks different. And then seeing it in action, it's like, oh, this is like just a 3D world that you're walking around as this lady, and the visuals look pretty striking in terms of the art style, where it is kind of Art Deco. I don't know, and like you're discovering lipstick and stuff. It just like it looks like it makes me feel like I want to go in there and like be nosy too. So I'm gonna check this out.
Being nosy is pretty great.
Yeah.
And like you can also there is a thing where you can decide not to tidy the rooms because you can
Hell
decide, oh, I
yeah.
have to go to 505. I'm supposed to clean 504 or whatever, but I'll skip it. But if you, I got rewarded for cleaning all the rooms. So I liked it. You go in and like you get like there's not like a guest satisfaction mechanic, but there is something that's references it later. It's good.
I also have here on this doc, Still Wakes the Deep.
Me
How's that?
again.
Oh, man.
I put like 4 games in. I've been gaming.
Fantastic. Hell yeah.
How is this?
Game on.
This is the tanker.
Yes.
Yeah,
the
the
oil
oil-
tanker at sea.
In
Yes, go ahead.
Scotland. I'm only an hour in, but I'm enjoying it a lot. I think they do a really great job of setting a sense of place. Like you immediately understand. Like I think I've had issues with games in previously where like they're just not good at exposition. It's like, oh hi Kaz, you live here on the rigs and your wife hates you. The way the game starts is
And we've been friends since grade school.
yes.
Yeah.
But the way that it starts out is like it's Kaz reading a letter from his wife, and you know, even she doesn't say like explicitly like I'm gonna divorce you, but it's like this needs to change, blah blah blah. And it kind of, I don't know, it's a lot more realistic, quote unquote, storytelling and how it conveys like the stakes and stuff. And then as things get weird, and like there's also all these pressures from like the the pencil pusher guy who runs the rig, and the company's cutting corners, and like there, if you walk past a notice board, it says, oh, there are no bonuses coming this year, blah 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 blah, and it's Christmas, and then obviously they drill, they're not supposed to, and something gets weird. And so I will say I don't know what the thing is. Haha, the thing. I don't know what. Fram is also right. My first achievement I got in the game was for staring at a guy in the shower for too long. Called McCleary, which is great. But I think the thing about it is that, like, the very first interaction I had with whatever it is that's on the rig now, I didn't think was that scary. I know they were trying to do the Jaws thing of like not showing what the monster was, but maybe I'll try it playing headphones, because it didn't really work for me, because like I just kept moving forward. And although I will say, in terms of the level design, I do like the way that they've gone for the Uncharted yellow highlight thing, so you're not massively just like running around like a headless chicken.
Good.
But I think in terms of how it looks, performances, I'm really enjoying it so far.
Also, the yellow thing makes sense on an oil rig, right? Where it's like this is like the safety path. Like this, yeah, totally.
Well, that's the thing, because there are walkways, like, and it like teaches you without explicitly gamifying it for you, where it's like on the rigs to get to certain places, you follow like this line, like this green line, and so it kind of already tunes you to attunes you even to play like that, and it's cool.
Is it like heavy? I know there's like monster somewhere. Is it like properly like creepy and scary, like in the way that only I like, in the way that I like?
Appeal to me?
Is this my game? Was this for me?
I don't know. I haven't found it that scary yet. That's the thing.
I'm looking at an image of the game. I won't spoil anything. I'll just say it looks eldritch. So I don't know. Is that your thing, Bacalar?
I don't know what that means. I'm sorry.
Cthulhu?
Cthulhu.
A little bit. Sure, I could fuck with that.
You'd fuck a Cthulhu. You heard it.
Yeah. So what? Look, I really like the Seattle Kraken. What can I say?
I like oil rigs.
Really?
I do. Yes. I don't know why.
I really like the beginning of Armageddon.
I do. And I really like that movie about the one that exploded with Mark Wahlberg.
Checks out.
It's just something about a giant floating like oil rig at sea. It shouldn't exist.
Are oil rigs floating, or are they drilled all the way into the bottom?
I think it depends. Many of them though are just floating.
Cool.
Right. It's cool.
Some of my family works on the rigs.
For real?
Yeah. I also like that idea of like going out for 3 months at a time and then coming back and being off for 3 months.
I don't
just
like that. That's scary to me.
I like the idea of it. I wouldn't be able to do it myself. So I don't know. How much of it is like, does it start with like life of like feeling like a oil rig sim, or does it just kind of get right into the scary stuff?
Oh, it gets right into it. Like, you wake up on Christmas, you have a letter from your wife, and then you are immediately called into the manager's office. Like, because you're also in trouble because of something that you did back home, like when you're on at shore.
Gotcha.
You filmed in a bathroom when you weren't supposed to. Yeah.
Oh boy.
Now you're getting kicked off of your streaming platform.
Like a lighthouse situation, perhaps.
I think also you're a boxer.
Oh,
like, or at least you like your character likes
that
boxing.
makes sense. I feel like there's boxing going on.
Yeah.
In
what
oil.
else? Like, what other entertainment is there on an oil rig? They definitely have underground boxing.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. Okay. Jeff, you were asking if Still Wakes the Deep was a Jeff game, but I'm assuming Lucy put this. But Lucy, is the Altars a Jan or a Yan game?
It's a Yan game.
Fuck this then. We're done.
I had no idea what that game was. The only thing I knew about it was that a friend of the show, Alex Jordan's in it. That's literally all I knew about it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and I messaged him last night because I was like, your American accent is so good. I had to Google to double check it was you. Like,
Alex was on the couch, or anybody was like, well, what is that name? Yeah, Alex Jordan was on the couch, and he is so nice. He's so nice.
Great.
Yes.
He's in Cyberpunk. He was in.
Is it better than your American accent, though, Lucy?
Come on. No, yes, it is. No, he's like, there was one point where he says route, and I was like, oh, I bet that felt bad to say it, like, because we say root properly, you know. But anyway, he's great. So I had no idea what the game was, and it is a like a base building game where all of the characters in your base are you,
Oh,
but at different points in your life.
Oh,
So
one is a barber, one owns a coffee shop.
there you go. Well, it's not like
So it is a Jan game.
it is it is a Jan game.
It's all Jans.
So it's really, really cool. So basically you work for this corporation who's trying to find a specific substance called rapidium. Rapidium.
Unobtainium.
It's an unobtainium asset.
Rap idiom sounds like a Macklemore album. I'm sorry.
Rapidium.
Hey, he's okay now. We're cool with him.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no.
we're cool
No
with
hate.
Macklemore. Anyway, and so you crash land on this planet, and you are the only person of your team who survived. And it's obviously a very dangerous planet to be. There is radiation. You can't survive by yourself, so the company gives you the ability to use quantum computing to clone yourself. But what you can do is you can make an alternate version of yourself. So it's essentially like sliding doors. You see his entire life.
Just about to say sliding doors.
Yeah, it's sliding doors base management game. And then you can see different points in your life. And Yan has had a shit life. And then you can be like, oh, so his dad was really abusive. So the first Yan leaves and goes to college. But there's a splitting point where the other Yan could maybe stay and then kick his dad out. So when you make your first Yan, that's the branching path that you pick, and then that Yan becomes a
Boxer.
not an electrician, but like
Happy.
a
Contractor.
like a kind of more of an engineer Yan. And then when you clone him and wake him up, he fucking hates you. So there's also like
That's weird.
conversations that you have to do to chat with the Yan and like make sure he's cool, and you can cook dinner and have it together. And then you go out and like try and you mine stuff in the overworld and use that to get more resources for your base, make more rooms, make more Yans.
Yeah,
It's
more Yans.
cool. It's like the demo's 2 hours. It was in Next Fest. I don't know if it's still up, but like
The demo is still up. I am downloading it after the show.
it rocked. I think the one thing I had like a little bit of issue with is I think the beginning could be they're trying to go for, oh, you've crash landed on this planet. It's it's so dire. We have to keep walking, and like everything's so spread out, and we're trying to like increase that sense of dread. Did not get that because it's unreal, and it's just you're just running from one step to another. You can't jump or anything, and like yes, it looks beautiful, but it's a bit it's longer than it should be. You really just because it gets more interesting as soon as you get to the base and as soon as you find out that the corporation's fucking weird. But it's a great demo. I loved it. Immediately wishlisted that game. Play it.
Yeah.
It's 2024. I don't know when.
Yeah, it's weird. The tags on Steam are like survival, action adventure, strategy, and exploration. It's like, yeah, that's a lot of different things. And watching the demo and hearing you describe it, it's like it does seem like it has a lot of different things going on. So great.
I'm intrigued to see because also I think there's like a hippie Yan. There is like a super rich scientist Yan. Like I was watching the trailer at the end, and it's like but they are all played by Alex. So
yeah,
he
that's
plays
fun.
all these different versions of this one character. I think it's a really, really fucking cool concept. I'm interested to see how it comes together.
I have a question.
Go on.
If there is Barbara Jan, there's now Maui Coffee Jan. Am I just
Yeah.
podcast Jan?
No,
No.
there's so much more.
You're the best, Jan.
You could be Jan Prime.
Oh, thank God.
Yeah,
I've been thinking a lot about Jet
Prime.
Li.
Yeah.
I've been thinking a lot about Jet Li lately.
God, I remember when that movie was coming out, all my friends were convinced, like, oh, this is the Matrix sequel. I'm like, what are you talking about? No, it's clearly not. But yeah, I'll watch the one right now.
There's a podcast I listen to where they have the producer's called Dave, and they have a feature called Around the World in 80 Daves, where every week they speak to a different Dave in a different country. And there's a really nice thing where the Dave will ask a question to next week's Dave. And sometimes they get like really just like, sometimes it'll be, oh, what do people say when you're a Dave and not a David? And sometimes they're just like, what's the most meaningful experience of your life, dude? So it's great. Anyway.
I was my first pitch for Giant Bomb was the blue screen of Jeff, and I was going to get all the video game industry Jeffs on one podcast. Jeff Keighley and Jeff Kanata. We'd all just talk each week about video games.
Jeff
I
Kanata,
had a
nicest man in
realization the
media.
other day where I was
Yes.
like, I realized, and now with Jeff Kanata, I realized that I actually know like 6 or 7 Jeffs.
Yep.
I never thought in my life I would know that many Jeffs.
Yep. Sorry
Okay.
about it.
Is it easier to name all of the Jeffs in games media or 100 women?
Well, I mean, you're going from 6 to 100, Jeff.
100 women, way harder.
Are you sure?
Are there even 100 women?
Yeah,
Come
there
on.
come on, 100? Are we sure?
We said Murray Curry twice in like 10 tries. So
Well, the thing is, like with the rules that chat put on us, we can't name any women we personally know.
well, then we're still
that
Oh,
limited
okay.
us.
No,
Yeah. Name a more realistic number, Jan.
110.
This shouldn't be a thought experiment. It should be based in reality.
Well, we were just talking about Yans and splitting through time and picking them apart. And this game that I checked out at Summer Game Fest is a Jan game of yesteryear, because I thought I was going to hate this. But folks, I fucking absolutely adored this. I checked out Dragon Ball Sparking Zero.
yeah.
Yay!
This is one of the Tenkaichi joints, so it's the behind-the-back anime fighter, but it's the ones that we do like.
Okay.
I can't. Folks will understand what that means, but it's the good ones, y'all. And let me tell you, you're not gonna get like the deep fighting mechanics that you would in Dragon Ball Fighters or Fighter Z, whatever you want to call it. But hey, this is a good one of the you can mash, but we've made it incredibly easy to pull off all of the abilities. You want to play as someone from Dragon Ball? We've got virtually everyone. When I was like going through the character select screen, the first 3 rows were nothing but Gokus.
Yeah.
So Goku's.
Oops, all Gokus. And then the next row was all Vegetas.
Yeah, they know what they're doing.
They know what they're doing. And they're doing a thing where in the story modes, you can pick specific tableaus like, hey, I want to revisit this moment early in the series when Goku first fought Raditz, his brother. But instead of continuing on with how it actually went, you can also explore like an alternate what if type of scenario of like, well, what if Goku did this instead? The other interesting thing that they're doing is in some of these moments, instead of just a straight up recreated cutscene, you can go in first person for some of the perspectives, which I thought was interesting. So you could be first person holding up Raditz as you were about to get impaled by a special beam cannon, which is kind of neat. Or you can be Nappa as you're getting headbutted by little kid Gohan. The versus battles that they do, it's 3v3, up to 3v3, so you can have a team of 3 Gokus versus 3 Vegetas. I wound up fighting because I don't know how Tam knew I was in that room, but Tam busted into the room and goes, "Chad, mate, I need you to record some footage." And I'm like, okay. And I was midway selecting people, and I had picked like Great Saiyan Ape Vegeta fighting little kid Gohan.
Hell yeah.
So I was just beating up a little
But does that
child.
scale
It
appropriately?
does. It does scale
That's
appropriately.
cool.
Because it
That
was-
makes sense because it's like behind the back. It's not a 2D fighter, so it could do that.
Yeah, and see, I did my gaming journalistic stuff.
Good job.
That's what we
Properly
call
checked
it in the
that out.
business.
Yeah.
I'm
stuff.
gonna do my stuff.
That whole
Yes.
sentence.
Yeah, it did play with the hitboxes appropriately. So since you were so gigantic in comparison to little kid Gohan, all of my punches were whiffing. And then the only thing that was hitting were any of the key attacks. This game is going to be hilarious for the sole fact that a lot of the battles in like the little story bits I was doing and then the versus mode I was playing through, there is going to be a lot of flying away or teleporting behind someone and just charging for like 2-3 seconds.
Hell yeah.
And it's so funny because the AI, I had bumped it up to just be a little bit more difficult. They're also doing the same thing. So it's the flow of combat is exactly how it is in the anime, where there's like, all right, let's punch each other for a bit. All right, cool. That we're countering each other. We're teleporting behind the back. I'm gonna go over here, and go for like a good 5 seconds, and then as you fully charge your key meter, you can pull off a more significant, more powered up Kamehameha or however specific power moves to a character. And the wild thing is, with each specific Goku, because it is a different Goku from a different point in the series, you can have Goku Black, Goku Rose. They all have different specific super powered up moves. It's a real thing. Don't bother to look it up, folks.
Wait, Goku Rose?
Yes, Goku
Yeah.
Rose.
Yeah, you actually put some ice in that
like me?
Goku. Yeah.
Goku Rose, I think, is if Goku Black powers up to his equivalent of Super
Yes.
Saiyan Blue.
He is a. I don't know. I think I saw. I remember watching Dragon Ball like as a child, but I did not retain any of it. And I have no. This is completely. I don't know. Like I was at Target with Tam once, and I said, "Oh look, there's a Goku. You love Gokus," and he was like, "You sound like my mother. Like, don't do that, please." So.
I don't remember if GT is retconned, but they are going to they are aiming to feature every single Dragon Ball character. I think the roster is like supposed to be up to 100 plus at this point. So
It's a lot of Gokus.
it's a lot of Gokus. Because I think I saw Super Baby Vegeta, which I think is a real character. Whichever one you can do. And the fun thing is, I think there is actually a lot of attention put to all of these specific characters. Like someone in my team of 3 was Hercule or Mr. Satan. And he doesn't actually fly, so he uses a little jetpack and he's just like running around because he can't like hover like everyone else can properly fly. I'm also here to say that nothing is wrong with the Great Saiyaman. The Great Saiyaman was a cool character design, and his episode with Videl made me think I could fly.
Aw.
I wish
Anyway.
people called me Mr. Satan. That's awesome.
Yeah,
We
it's
do
pretty
better.
good.
Start
back.
calling you Mr. Satan.
Okay, that makes me feel better.
We just call you Satan.
Bacalar, would you wear a pink button-down shirt, like a short-sleeve button-down shirt that said "Bad Man" on the back?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not above that. I think I would do that in specific cases.
You're Giant Bomb's Vegeta for sure. I like that.
Oh my God,
I don't-
is Dib Trunks?
Yeah.
I don't know what any of that means, but I don't know. It's not my usual color, but I'm happy to try it out.
You know, the thing is, I don't think we have a Goku. I think we have everyone
No.
else. We just don't have a Goku.
Who would I be?
Goku.
Yay!
Yeah.
No. What is a Goku?
Yeah, what is a Goku?
It's rice.
A dumb himbo.
Oh wait, no, it's Gohan. Never mind.
dumb
Gohan,
himbo?
come on.
We
Yeah,
don't have
I'm
a
sorry.
dumb.
Oh,
We don't
okay,
have a dumb
okay,
himbo
so-
on the.
Who's Goku? A bad father. Oh god.
Yes, he's
A
a
Yeah,
bad
Goku's
father?
like Drake.
Who? I mean, what characters?
Not
could I
Technically, you're a bad father, Lucy. Like we're like tracking how good of a father you are. You're a bad one because you're not one at all.
be? I'm an excellent meowther, though.
Yeah, that's of course.
A meowther of 2.
Oh God, that's a word that's stupid.
I only use it to be annoying because it is so. It's like people saying puppers and
What?
burbs.
What?
Oh
Puppers.
Oh, yeah.
God, I
Wait,
can't stand puppers.
puppers?
Oh
Puppers,
yeah.
yeah.
There's like a big like millennial women thing they say, and I am a millennial woman, but like I used to work with someone who
You're allowed
used
to
to just
judge
say,
them.
"Oh, there's burbs and the puppers," and I'm just like, I want to.
I don't. I'm sorry, I
Jam my
can't
hand in
understand
a
what you're
paper shredder.
saying.
It's a
way of saying
dumb word for
doggos.
puppies. Yeah,
Yeah.
doggos. Yeah,
Puppers,
doggos.
burbs.
It's 1 degree away from uwu, you know?
No,
Yeah,
it's
pupper-
not.
It's
No,
very
whoa.
bacon narwhal.
First of all,
Yes, it is.
there's-
It is bacon strips, bacon strips, bacon strips.
Got it.
Yeah.
I think if you say pupper like in its own little thing, I'm not defending it. I'm trying to find the fault in it, and I'm just not seeing it right away.
I think it's partly because I have lingering resentment of the person who said it.
Understood. And sometimes
It was
that
Hillary
tattoos the
Lucy used to work for
association.
Hillary Clinton, yes.
You know, yeah,
Side gig.
that makes
Weekends.
sense.
No. So I guess yeah, that's the thing. Not yucking anyone's yum unless you are that specific person who pissed me off when we worked together 10 years ago.
Doing gamer puppers.
Oh no. I read the most offensive thing I've ever read in chat, and you know, I like rolling with the punches about what people
Yeah.
say. but saying that I am Giant Bomb's Chaozu is so fucked up.
What's that? What's
Wait,
that
what
mean?
is that?
Yeah,
I
what's
am
that?
not the little clown boy of this website.
It's a little clown boy.
Oh no, that's
Oh, no,
Dan. That's Dan.
Yeah.
Dan, and because that would make Dan Tien. So no, we can't have that.
No, Dan is a little clown boy. He's very clown adjacent.
I'm not gonna
Yeah.
blow myself.
I would say Mitch also similarly little clown boy vibes.
Well, with
Okay, Mitch
the
could be
makeup,
Chaozu. Yeah.
with the
Okay,
makeup,
okay.
he's certainly
Yeah.
halfway
no
there.
one is Mr. Popo. We can't do Mr. Popo.
No,
okay?
Jesus
No one is
Christ,
Mr.
no.
What the hell is Mr.
Do not Google this. This is
No.
worse than Hakdua, girl.
I'm gonna Mr. P.O.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh no!
Yay! Never mind. That was fun.
Oh, that's great. That's a good Lucy face. Lucy, I believe you also put this on the dock here.
What'd I do?
Fallen Aces?
Yes. Oh, sorry.
Oh,
I started playing this yesterday. It is a first-person noir. It's from New Blood. How do I describe it? Hang on, I'm on their Steam page. A gritty crime noir saga, but it's also an immersive. This one is actually an immersive.
This is an immersive sim. It's not a boomer shooter. I thought it'd be
Yeah.
a boomer shooter, and it's an
No.
immersive sim.
But you are also a boxer in this one. So weirdly, a lot of if you want to make a cork board with the red string of the games that I've been playing and the way that the ways that they're all connected, you basically you wake up in the grimy and you're behind on in the grimy city and you're behind on rent, and then you get a phone call that someone is coming to kill you, and it's great. It looks like a cartoon, like it actually just looks like a comic book. And who's calling? Is that my?
Mitch Tokoda is called, and he wants to say something.
Okay.
I am not Chaozu or Chaozo, whatever the fuck that little freak is called. He's a piece of shit. How dare you? Pick somebody else and not Yoja Robbie or whatever that guy's called, the fat Goku.
what's funny is where is this guy where he's like not online but somehow ingesting the show?
Well, he probably is. Like,
in
he
the
just can't.
car?
He can't hop into this room.
I
And
made it
We
that
did
way.
it too. We
he
did
was
it
probably
deliberately.
messaging me on Discord, and I've been ignoring him. Who knows?
Got it.
Thank you,
All
caller.
right. Yeah,
That's right.
that was
Thank
a
you,
great
caller.
voicemail.
Lucy, I
very
played a little
timely.
Fallen Aces as well,
Yeah.
and I have not played more since I talked about it last week. And my first impression was there's a lot more going on in this game than I was expecting.
Yes.
It's like a world to explore, and I really like that aspect of it. I am still waiting for what is the hook to sort of carry me forward with this story and the action that I'm doing. But I still was very impressed by the base foundation that they had there. Have you played enough of it to sort of see where that all goes?
Not yet. I only played the first chapter, so it's in early access. There will be 3 parts, and each one has a bunch of chapters in. I'm into it. My one thing, and actually I was having this a little bit with Still Wakes the Deep, is that if it's a first person shooter, I have to spend basically most of the first hour figuring out the accessibility options for me because I get so motion sick. And this one, because it is so fast, I was getting a little bit motion sick, so I could only really do that first hour.
I'm gonna send you some Get Good. All right, that'll help you out.
That'll snap you right out of it.
But I really I like the vibe. I liked, I was also kind of surprised at the feeling of discovery. I went by and I found a vent that I could crawl into. I could just kick it open. The way that you can swap between the items that you have stored, and there's weapon degradation in there, and so you basically are always continuously swapping out. I'm holding a frying pan, I've got a bat, I have a banana peel that I'm throwing on the ground to make people fall over, or I have a gumball machine and they fall over on that. So
You do that.
It's way more layered than I expected it to be. I would like to carry on with it, but it's also this is the first game from New Blood that I've played. For some reason, I'm in the Discord. It's because someone was pretending to be Dave Oshry and was messaging me on Discord, and I had to be I went in the Discord to double check that it was him, and I was I had to message him on Twitter and be hey, someone's pretending to be you. But yeah, so I'm stoked. It's overwhelmingly positive with over 2,500
It's
reviews.
really impressive based on what they
yeah.
have so far in terms of the look and the feel, and again what you could do. So yeah, I am sort of all in on Elden Ring right now. But as soon as I get that out of the way, this is one of the ones I want to go back to.
Yeah, so it's cool.
Fantastic. Well, folks, I think that brings us now, unless anyone has any other games they'd like to talk about for the big one. Oh, stop! I didn't actually press that. The game of the week, Elden Ring, Shadow of the Nerd Tree.
Sure.
That's what Google keeps correcting it to. In
Yes, every
docs.
time.
Wait,
Every
Google's
single time.
correcting Erd Tree to Nerd Tree?
Someone at Google is really struggling with the difficulty and wants to make it everyone else's problem.
But Nerd Tree isn't a word.
Yeah, you're right. It's weird.
Okay, I'm on to you, Google.
I've been playing a lot of this. I don't know how many bosses I'm in now, but I've probably beaten around like 10. I beat a putrescent knight last night, and he was kind of mean and hard. For this, it is for me, the way I'm playing it is this is a lot more Elden Ring, and that's great. It is definitely presented slightly different in that once you get inside of a dungeon or like a cave or something, they feel more concise and focused, and in some ways better in terms of just like the pacing, where it's like, we're going to get you through this a little bit quicker because it's a DLC. It's going to be a little bit smaller, but it's going to have the same amount of good stuff just spread over a little bit less area. At least that's how it's felt so far. But really what I'm mostly enjoying is that I see the big like golden arrow on top of one of the points of grace that I found earlier in the game, and it's pointing off of somewhere to the top north. It's actually the last one I got in that first stream I did, chat, and it's pointing over in that direction. I'm like, I don't know how to get there, so I'm gonna try to like find my way around, and then I get distracted and I go in a different direction and I start exploring this whole other area, and I'm like, maybe I shouldn't be here, but I'm gonna kind of just go as far as I can until I get beat up, and then I'll get to a boss, and I'll either overcome it over 10, 20, maybe 30 tries, or I get to a point where I'm like, oh, clearly I am just not going to be able to beat this thing right now unless I dedicate like 50 hours to it, Kai Cenat style. And I'm like, you know what? I will just instead go and find more of these skibbity tree fragments to upgrade my character just for the DLC. That's how it works here. And that has been also fun. It's like I am going up to a wall, realizing like, hey, I could just bash my head against the wall. I do find that to be fun sometime in these games, to really just go for it. But there's so much here left to explore. Why don't I just back off, go actually enjoy some of that exploring element, which is for me is the best part of Elden Ring. Yeah. And there's a ton of that here. It is way bigger than I even was expecting, and I was expecting this to be massive based on the way everyone was talking about it. So just really, really happy with it. It is I think that the conversation around the difficulty is curious because it feels right in line with Elden Ring to me.
I feel like a lot of this discourse had happened a lot when Sekiro also came out.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely.
It felt like a lot around then. That I didn't feel it as much when Elden Ring initially came out. I don't know if that's because, I don't know, waves or preparation of the Soul style of games had like adjusted or whatever.
I think what happens is that the people have already mastered Elden Ring, so they expect to be able to go in the DLC and carry forward that mastery, and not like, suddenly I have to go through the arc of starting off being kind of underpowered for these bosses and having to find new stuff to become a master of this new land. Sure. And I think that's just throwing a lot of people off. They're like, no, I'm level 180. I should be able to destroy anything, and it's not working out that way. In a week, everyone will sort of realize what's going on, and I think all this stuff will be behind us.
At first, I attributed it to like, is it maybe like the mainstream audience that is like going to a Souls game for the first time? Because like Elden Ring saw a huge, massive bump because of like Kai Cenat, right? Like a lot of people tuning in to watch him like bash his head against the wall. So like, how many
it was
of
massive
those
on
people...
TikTok even before that? Like, yes,
100%.
I can't see that being a thing of people first jumping into this.
Well, yeah, like, not to Shadow of the Erd Tree specifically, but like Elden Ring in general, and like this being their first like introduction to this style of game.
Wait, Kai Cenat only started playing it in the last like.
Yeah, but
months,
I mean,
right?
but that was before.
Sold 20 million copies.
In like I'm talking about like maybe that vocal audience being the new people that have hopped on, but that was just like, that's probably a smaller portion than the people complaining online.
I do think the people complaining seem to be people who are veterans to From games, and it's weird. So I was assuming that at first too, Jan, that there was some sort of thing happening here where the more casual audience was Like, I'm just not used to this, but it doesn't seem to be the conversation that's happening. So I think this is just kind of people thinking that they're really good and assuming that it's going to carry forward. And when they meet the first roadblock, they get frustrated at the game. And I don't think that's going to last much longer.
Yeah, they're just whiny assholes, right?
They're whiny assholes. And the reality is, it's not that hard. It's not. If you play the way with all the tools the game gives you, if you are going to artificially make it more difficult by not using summons and all this stuff, which you totally play that way if you want, but you're making it more difficult, and that's not the way that these things were designed to be played necessarily. So yeah, you're going to have more of a challenge. And if you overcome that and it gives you the dopamine you need, I'm all for it. But yeah, it is just astounding to run around this world, turn a corner, and constantly be met with one of the best things you've ever seen in a video game, one of the best looking things you've ever seen. It happens hourly in this game, where I'm in a new area and it just looks better than anything else I've seen before. The artists are just top notch, and so exploring the world for me has been the best. And I kind of, all I can do right now is play it. It's like, and I'm so glad it's running good on my Steam Deck. So, well, wife's out of town taking care of the kids, and I'm just like, well, all right, let's go hang out. I'll make some dinner, and then let's go sit down watching TV, and I'll play some Elden Ring, and it's been working great. So yeah, big fan of what they've done here.
I feel like I never really made meaningful progress in Elden Ring, and now the playoffs are over, I feel like maybe this is the
free.
summer.
Oh my
This is the summer. This is the summer
Jeff,
of.
here's what you do: be like me, because my dumb butt forgot that I had played through most of this game on the PS5.
You forgot?
This happens with me a lot. All right, I don't know where I play things.
Okay.
Just get Elden Ring on Steam.
Yeah, I have it.
Just cheat. Make a new character and just
Use the cheat engine.
Cheat engine. Yeah,
What?
cheat.
Honestly,
Wait, what?
I did see a mod for adding Sekiro parrying to the
Wait,
game.
You guys.
And I was just like, ooh,
you guys.
that could be real fun.
Cheat engine? What?
Yeah, cheat
I-
engine. Yeah,
I don't
It's
know
like
what that. I don't know what that is.
It's like
bump
Game
you to the
Genie. It's a
soul.
Game Genie for PC. It's basically what it is.
When did the? I've talked about this for a while. Where I'm like, I know Elden Ring is the furthest I've ever made in a From game. Okay.
And where did you get to? Do you remember? What did you do?
I don't
Did you
know. It
beat
was like
Godric?
30 hours.
But that could mean anything. What did you do?
It could mean anything. I don't
Did you
know.
be farming in Limgrave that whole time?
Stop making fucking words up.
Did you fight a bear?
A bear, yes.
Big bear, little bear.
Big bear. He's a big bear.
Ursa Major. Okay.
Did you kill the guy who's grafting other body bits onto himself? Like the main first boss?
No.
Did you get through the...
No.
You didn't get through Stormvale.
Gotcha.
No.
You can play a lot of that game without getting past Godric.
No, I didn't do that.
Okay. Cheat engine has been around for a very long time, but it is not it is something that like is just in the background that people don't always talk about. It's a trainer, is my understanding. So it can you can mess around with values inside of it, and it will basically be like, oh, now you have infinite life, or now you can jump higher and things like that.
Okay.
And
We're back on board here.
Yeah, that's a really good thing. If you just want to play the game your way on PC, that's a good way to do it.
And this is the thing about, and I know I'm spoiling the sanctity of From stuff. The thing about Elden Ring and all of the From games are like, I'm obsessed with like how gross all the bosses are. Like I just want to, I want to take in all that.
It just gets grosser and grosser.
And I
You're
just
gonna
like,
that.
this disgusting pussy I just want to be up in its shit. I know it sounds real bad actually when you say it out loud.
Yeah,
That's half the joy of these games.
But I love the boss design. I just think it's amazing.
Sure, yeah,
I think so. I just want to like go up to it and like not have. I don't want the pain. I want the baby without the labor pains. Okay.
Sure.
That's what I want.
Right.
You know what I mean?
After postpartum, it's a real thing.
The alternative is do the multiplayer mod. We could do that again. Just come hang out with us, jump into a game, and that turns it into just a fun, trivial time where everyone's just running around doing goofy stuff.
Yeah. I'm into that. Hey, look, if I was 28, like, I'd be putting in the work.
Sure.
I'd be putting in the work, putting in the time. I'm not that. I don't know if I'm ever gonna be able to do that with a game again. You know?
Yeah. I was bringing up using Cheat Engine to like, you want to make a new character and then just kind of fast forward to where you can start the DLC. So like,
because like you can go in the game and go to that cliff and shoot that bird 100 or 100,000 times, and
40,000 runes just by farming the little Albinorics on that same ridge.
right.
So,
Or you could just cut to the chase and jump right to that point with cheat engine. It's the same thing in the end.
Cut the check, baby.
Cut the
Cut the
check.
check. Cut the chase.
Let's go.
Cut the souls to me. Yeah, I have yet to check out Erdtree, but everyone's buzz about it.
I've been
It's
watching.
just
You know
awesome
what's
to be back
amazing
in
about
Elden
the amazing thing about this game is I watch a lot of people stream it because I do want to get a look at like bosses and stuff.
Yeah.
And I swear to fucking God, I watch people stream it and I never see the same thing again.
That's right, that's
like,
great.
I'm never like, oh, I've seen this part before. No, I've never seen it. It's amazing.
And that's like what happened to me, where it's like, me and Mike have been playing about the same amount of time, and he's like, where are you at? And I'm like, oh, I kind of like went all the way around the map, bent around, came back under in the south to get to a point I wasn't able to get to before, and I think I'm at a boss I definitely shouldn't be at. And he's like, well, did you do this thing that you're definitely supposed to do next? I'm like, nope, never even seen it, never even been there. I have no idea what you're talking about. So, yeah, it really is, play however you want.
Yeah.
And it's easy to say that, but it's just like the reward of, I am just trying to survive as my character, and I am going to find my own fun. Having ownership of that really is what makes these games work for me, where I just feel like I'm the first person to ever be here, even though I know I'm not, and I see the messages from other people who have been there. Something about just like turning the corner and feeling like there's a chance I'm like one of the first people to see this place. There's not a chance of that. It just makes you feel that way, and that is awesome. And I feel like this adventure is my adventure, and it makes it all the more important to me.
And I'm not trying to have the conversation of like there should be an easy mode in this game, even though I kind of still think that's true.
Yeah,
but,
there should be accessibility settings. But
but I just I'm glad that this exists. I don't know how I fucking have not talked. I feel like I've said that before, and the fact that nobody has been like, "Hey, buddy, Jeff, my man, like you can do what you want. You've said this out loud. You can do what you want."
It's been around for forever. I think everyone just assumed that cheat engine is like a known quantity.
Yeah, it's like we don't talk about it, but it's there.
All right, I'm a piece of shit, I guess. I don't know what to say. Like, that's fucked up.
I didn't know until you all started talking.
We'll come set up your computer for you.
Can you come over?
Yeah.
I'll make you. I'll give you some beer.
Okay, hell yeah.
Build your keyboard.
My favorite
sweet.
memory of seeing Cheat Engine working for the first time is Matthew Rory trying to beat like Lady Butterfly, or is it Madam Butterfly in Sekiro?
Lady. Madam Butterfly is the opera.
Ah, yeah. I hate that one.
I've seen
So
that.
fucking boring.
Very, very difficult. Yeah.
And he purposely like slowed down the timing of everything so he could hit the parry windows better. But even though he slowed it down, Matthew Rory was still operating at Matthew Rory speed. So he's like, shit, God damn it. And it was just great. It was just great.
No.
I seeing Matthew Rory at Summer Game Fest was an absolute treat.
I bumped into him and he made such a very sweet noise, which was like, oh, and I was like, oh, that's so good to see him. 'Cause we
Well,
saw
you
him
pushed
at
the right
PAX as well.
button, you know?
Yeah, we saw him at PAX. It was lovely.
Right.
Yeah. It's good seeing him there.
Lucy-
Yeah, I just haven't had to cheat this whole time, folks. So
Oh, you're so you're
stuck on it.
Yeah,
Stuck on that.
Don't trip, chocolate chip. It's Lucy James.
Hey.
You've been playing a lot of games, but you've also been playing the game of traveling back and forth because
Oh yeah.
yesterday GameSpot launched Star Players.
Yeah. I don't know why I did that. But yeah, the show what I've been working on for that's why I've barely been around. Not been in meetings, not been on streams, not been doing much. That's because everyone's like, "Oh, what you up to next time?" I'm like, can't talk about it yet, but it's out. I'm super excited about it. Yeah, so it's a show where I interview a bunch of celebrities about gaming. It's been really fun one because we are only picking gamers who we know are celebrities, and so all the conversations, like the first episode yesterday was with Monet Exchange, one of my favorite drag queens, and it's just like it is such a nice, authentic, enthusiastic conversation about her favorite games, and I loved doing it. I got to meet Steve-O, which was, he's so lovely, but it's also very,
nice.
very, very surreal because and also, I mean, I think if we're going to talk about surreal, Dominic Monaghan.
Oh yeah, how'd you contain yourself?
I was fine. Like, that's the thing. At the end of the day, they're just people.
No, they're not.
are they?
They're not people.
They're all just, but they're very nice. And like we just talked about gaming. Like Dominic Monaghan loves Planet Zoo.
Oh,
Like
Okay.
a lot.
okay.
So I played
Didn't have that on my
Planet-
bingo card, but
played
sure.
Planet Zoo with him. But no, it's like, and you know, I got to chat with Johnny from Health, who came to GB at night and just hung out, which was really fun. Rahul Kohli, Aisha Tyler, and then we've got one more that we're lining up. But it's been a really fun show to work on because, like, usually I didn't do too many junkets when I was back in the UK because, like, the UK, London was like such a hub for junkets, and it was around the sort of time where junkets became bullshit, where it's you have 6 minutes with people and everyone does a game where it's like, oh, let's do true or false, and because really, and that's not on the journalist side, that's because that's all the time that you have with people. Like, you cannot get, unless you're maybe Ali Plum from back in the UK, you can't really get a meaningful conversation out of someone. So we've been really lucky that we've had all these celebs come in and give us like an hour of their time, and we have a really fun conversation.
Yeah,
And
that's awesome.
Literally all of them have said at the end that they loved doing it because they just want to talk about gaming. So that's
Oh, that's lovely.
so yeah, the link is in the chat if you would like to see it. I've really, really loved working on it.
Doing a great job there, Lucy. Well done.
Thank
Yep,
you.
really good
And
work.
everyone else on the production side there.
Oh, Kurt, Emma,
Kurt.
Kurt especially has been like dealing with our like booking and or like production schedules, and Emma's been an absolute star, like directing on the day. We've got a whole team. But also, I will say the only logical endpoint for this show is that we get Guy Fieri on, because every single time I've had to fly into, because I only fly into Burbank. That's like my one diva requirement is that I never fly
Yeah,
into
that's a good
LAX,
call.
Sure.
because Burbank is so much better
So much
Superior.
better.
in terms of like flying.
You get to
up and
walk
down.
on the tarmac and the rules.
That's
Yeah.
cool.
But I have to go to the Guy Fieri Bar and Grill. So like my Instagram stories, like I would get to the point where people would just reply again because I was at the Guy Fieri Bar and Grill so often.
They know your
So
name there.
the last time I went, they gave me a free drink. But that was because
So
also
they're
my
like,
flight
sorry to
was.
see you again.
Oh man, Flavortown is so hospitable.
Do you want your usual table? And no, they didn't
Table
really
for
say.
one?
Again.
Here, Lucy, your trash can nachos.
Hey, when you're there, you're always dining with Guy. Don't worry about it. Yeah, there's no
Oh.
table for one at Guy Fieri's Flavortown.
I felt like such an asshole, but the last time I went, I said, "Excuse me, can I get the fries? But can you please not put the seasoning on? Like what the hell is that?
What is the
man?
seasoning?
It's
like
like the
boom boom.
like spicy like Cajun spices stuff, but it was.
Was it like Old Bay?
Hawk to it.
Yeah, it wasn't. Hey,
Oh, Jen.
it wasn't good. So I and they were very nice about it. So that's
Cool.
recommend. Anyway, Star Players, please watch it. Next week is the Dominic Monaghan episode.
Hell yeah.
I didn't even ask him about Lord of the Rings. Like, that's how cool I was on the day.
Wow.
Okay.
I asked him one thing about being in a Lord of the Rings game. But the thing is that, like, I know too much about Lord of the Rings. I can't open that door because then I'll say something weird where it's like, oh, I remember from the appendices of the Return of the King that you did this. Like, I can't do that.
And that's when he
So-
takes off his mic and he's like, oh, this is
Yeah,
over.
we're done here. So I didn't ask about wigs. We did talk about Quantum Break.
Oh,
Did you
cool.
ask to see his cast tattoo from Lord of the Rings?
No. Jeff, I was so cool, okay?
You can't do
I mean, you are.
that, Rob.
Listen, I'll do it. I don't give a shit.
Well, you may...
Grub will
Show me
do
your
it,
cast
though.
tattoo now. Hawk Tua.
All right. Well, I'm gonna hawk to us over these
Yeah,
hands and clap them away because we gotta go take a break, and we'll be back with some video game news. Check out Star Players now on the GameSpot YouTube. Lucy, when are these apps dropping?
Every Monday.
Every Monday,
You
baby.
can go watch the Monday Exchange episode now.
But next time, not the same time as Game S Mornings, everybody.
Not
That
the
was
next time as Game as Mornings. That was a bit fun outside. We probably shouldn't have put a video up at the same time as a live stream. YouTube doesn't like that, but we
Does
live
not-
and we
does not enjoy that. We
learn.
live- exactly.
It's all right. We do. Don't worry. Don't worry. We won't.
Oh, yeah,
step
we'll
on
bounce
each
back.
other.
We'll bounce
back. We'll see you right after this rookie break. I forgot to share this story in Maui, but I was walking down the street and I threw a shaka to someone, and then he threw it back, and then we became friends.
Yeah.
So, Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth is a true story. Everything that happens in that they advise you about Hawaii is all real. It's all great.
You sent that, and it made me think of they should turn Hawaii into a theme park. And then I'm pretty sure that was a problematic thought, so I tried to stop myself.
Well,
we can just go.
It came from a good place.
Exactly. You can just go there and not be like, hey, now work at a place to entertain me.
News. This is a news with Jeff Grubb.
Yeah. Right before we came back from break, a Bloomberg story came out about Dr. Disrespect, basically confirming what has been said in a bunch of places now over the last couple of days, that he was sexting a minor and then asked about her plans at TwitchCon. That is the thing that got him banned permanently from Twitch. His defense is they still paid me to not stream on the platform. Not the best defense.
Yeah.
He has been fired from Midnight Society, a studio he founded with Robert Bowling, who is of Call of Duty fame. He seemed to get that message.
Scrubbed him.
Yes, Turtle Beach has just gotten like, we are no longer in the Dr. Disrespected business. He seemed to get that message about getting fired from Midnight Society on stream. That's when that music popped off.
Oh, howdy.
Yeah, and that is from 4 years ago is when all this stuff went down. We have not known what happened. Now we have a pretty good idea. He says he's going to go away for a while. I hope it's forever. We'll see. All right, so let's get into the news I have written down here. Stellar Blade Studio is looking at a PC version, but can't comment due to its contractual relationships. Shift Up, the developer of Stellar Blade, is considering a PC version of the game, but cannot provide further details due to a contractual obligation with Sony. In an IPO filing, Shift Up indicated that it was considering a PC release and a sequel for Stellar Blade. The studio aims to maximize the value of the IP and minimize uncomfortable elements like microtransactions for brand value. So they're going to keep doing the game as they've been doing it, but it's probably going to come to PC. On PlayStation 5, it's sold about 1 million copies. It sold over 1 million copies, actually. So pretty good, actually. It's not too bad for a new IP. It's not the biggest thing in the world, but once it goes to PC, probably could pop off even more. You guys still think about Stellar Blade at all? It's one that like I've mostly forgotten about.
Yeah, I forgot about it.
I forgot
Yeah.
it came out this year until
play it.
it got brought up in a meeting yesterday.
Well,
I forgot. I was slightly intrigued, but for me to really follow through on a game these days, you got to grab me.
Yeah,
What?
I'm. Well,
What?
okay. That's listen.
What?
That's a whole other thing.
Did I say
And,
something bad? Oh, okay.
Stellar Blade is I'm like I have no ill will towards it. It is one that I keep thinking about. Like, if it was on PC, I definitely would be playing it. Maybe I'll go turn on.
Why is that? Because
PS5.
of the mods?
Well, yeah. Then you
The
really
cheat engine.
really get filthy with it. Just do some disturbing stuff. Yeah, we'll see. But either way, I think we probably get a Stellar Blade 2 out of this, and it's even bigger. And this is now like an ongoing franchise and studio, and good for them.
It's a completely fine game. I am interested in what a Stellar Blade 2 would look like.
Same. Elden Ring Shadow of the Erd Tree received mixed Steam reviews amidst difficulty and performance complaints. We talked about the difficulty stuff. There's also been a lot of complaints about the performance. It's a little hitchy, a little problematic in some areas where you'll see some frame drops. And it feels like this should be running on my rig, and it's like it's kind of chugging a little bit. Also on Steam Deck, I've had the controls just stop working, and I mentioned that on Twitter, and a lot of people
Game
are like,
is
yeah,
hard.
yes, like people are like, this happened to me twice during a boss fight. I'm like, oh, that would suck. I don't want that to happen to me.
I've had a couple of issues. So, like, it's running great. I have not had any hitching issues. I've had a couple of issues where it was only in the dancing lion fight where I would be absolutely going ham on that thing and it wouldn't register hits.
You know what? Did that happen to me too? I feel like that happened to me too.
Yeah. But only with the lion, weirdly.
I feel like it's happened to me with other things too. But I assume that was like the lion's hitbox is like, well, his middle part is you can't hit it.
Oh, I was on his head though.
Yeah, I thought.
Like I
yeah,
was swinging at
I was
those
like-
jaws.
yeah, I was like right on his jaw too, and it wasn't right. So yeah, okay, so maybe there's some weirdness there. Either way, though, it just seems like this is the early days for this DLC. It's mixed for now. Things will probably turn around, but it has been very successful in terms of sales. You kind of can extrapolate from 25,000 reviews for Shadow of the Erd Tree in the first couple of days. That only happens if you sell a lot of copies very quickly.
Has Vati finished it yet? just like wait. I mean, I need to finish it and then I can actually watch some Vati.
I do think did Kai Cenat beat the final boss? He
Playing
was,
it for like 50 hours.
he was playing the final boss for 50 hours.
As of
yeah.
last night, he was still on it.
Okay. Well, up next, Miyazaki spends 95% of his time directing games despite From Software president title. And if you're wondering, like, this news isn't very newsy, there's no news this week, everybody. Everyone's on vacation in the entire industry, or they're playing Elden Ring Shadow of the Erd Tree. So this is what you get this week. Hidetaka Miyazaki, president of From Software and the director of Elden Ring, spends most of his time directing games rather than fulfilling corporate executive duties. Miyazaki enjoys nurturing young directors and communicating his process to them. He's been the president for almost 10 years, but considers himself to have only 6 months of experience as executive.
This guy rules.
Yeah, this is exactly why I included this, because I'm like, that's kind of what I would want. Yeah, sure, like you should be at the top of the hierarchy there, but you should keep doing the thing that got this studio to this point in the first place, which is you directing games. So I'm glad that that's still the way it works, and that it's not like, oh, you have to worry about payroll so you don't have time to direct games anymore. That would be crazy. So kind of a little bit of a relief. Although at the same time, it's always good to see these and we're showing our way of doing things to a new crop of younger directors so they can make games in the future as well. And I hope we get more of that.
Really like that. I'm
Me too.
really curious as to what he has in mind for a turn-based RPG.
Yeah, that
I
is
don't-
weird.
I don't know what that would look like coming from him.
I'm like very hopeful that it could be like reinvigorating to a lot of people who just like write off turn-based RPGs.
Yeah.
And I clearly turn-based RPGs are doing just fine. Look at Persona and a lot of other things. But I think FromSoft coming into the space could do something really cool there. I'm hopeful. Prominent Nintendo leaker locks account after source revealed as Nintendo employee. This is
boy.
Pioro,
This
who we mentioned before. This is
Why?
a rough one.
This was.
A well-known Nintendo leaker locked their social account after revealing that their source of information was a Nintendo employee in Japan. Pioro's accurate leaks earned them over 100,000 followers on Twitter. This week's Nintendo Direct announcement didn't have any preceded web pages on the Nintendo Store. And that's important because Pioro also didn't have any news to share before the thing. And so people put two and two together that there was some sort of access that Pioro had to the Nintendo backend so that when websites would go live but not fully live for the public, they would be able to see that. Jason Schreier asked Pioro directly for a story about this, and Pioro said, I don't know how the person I talked to gets it. The person I talked to is a Nintendo Company Limited employee in Japan, but this theory sounds plausible to me. And then Jason Schreier put all of that in the story because he's a reporter, and he was asking those questions for a report. And Pioro tweeted, I didn't know they were going to put all that in the story.
Oh, what is
scam.
happening?
It's rough out there.
Boy.
It's
See it.
I still, I'm like, I would be like, even if someone told me that, I'd be like, man, I'm not going to put someone else's source in the story. But Jason Schreier's a reporter. You told him the truth. Jason Schreier reported the truth. This is all on Pioro. Just a boneheaded move across the board.
I mean, like, I guess I don't expect every last person to understand the whole, like, hey, I do not want you publishing this. This is off the record kind of thing. But, like, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, you're talking to a reporter, and they said, "Hey, I'm working on a story." That's basically how Jason said it too. It's like, I'm working on a story. I want to ask you some questions. Yeah, you need to assume that the questions you're answering could be used in that report. I wonder if Pure's just like, well, we're on the same side. We're like, we're just trying to get the truth about the industry, so you wouldn't out my source. I don't know. It's just a weird move. Either way, Nintendo seems savvy to these things now, and that seems to be why there weren't preceded web pages, because Nintendo seemed to understand something was happening here. Let's do less of that stuff and see if we can cut off some of these leaks. And that worked.
Let's make them more paranoid.
Right,
I got a good idea.
Nintendo also already very paranoid. It's a very good point, Packler. That the fact that now they're like, that worked. All right, now shut it all down so we can't ever let anything leak again. You're definitely onto something there. Sony has reportedly made cuts to VR development with only 2 titles currently planned. Sony has reportedly reduced investment in VR with only 2 in-house titles in development for PlayStation VR. The company's output for PSVR has already been limited since launch. And so recently it launched a PC adapter that will make the PlayStation VR 2 work on PC. But going alongside that won't be some new crop of video games for the most part. It is just these 2 games. Maybe they have some more partnerships with third-party developers, but it doesn't seem to be the case. PSVR 2 dead in the water. Anyone have any other ideas about what might be happening here?
I don't think they had ideas to begin with, Grub.
It's just like, I guess the only thing I find a little shocking about this whole thing is that the investment and R&D, like upfront cost assumption of all this, right? In the face of like what everyone was almost unanimously agreeable upon the fact that like this is not a thing we necessarily want or need, and then just following the script of like it isn't going to perform well. There aren't any compelling games for it out of the gate. Where is this headed? A certain disaster, and then it just fizzling out in a very predictable way. I do find that to be surprising in the sense that there is no like, part of me in the back of my mind was like, something's gonna come.
Right.
Like there's gonna be a software thing that will be coming. And the answer to that is no, there's not, Jeff.
Nope.
It's just bad out of the gate and will be forever, and that's that.
It is something where it seems clear now in hindsight that the hardware team was just operating, making something based on an assumption that the software would definitely come, and it felt like the PlayStation side of the business was looking around being like, no, we're busy. You can make that thing, but good luck getting games for it. We're busy, and they just never really got on the same page with PSVR 2, and it just ended up happening sort of out of habit, like out of momentum for PSVR 1, which had some success. So they're like, well, we got to do that again, and no one like really checked with the two sides didn't speak to one another to find out if they had a plan to actually make that make sense.
I think that's important that you bring that up, because I do think there's this like unspoken assumption that like, oh, this is all connected, right? Like, and obviously this being in out of sync as it was, right? Like certainly tells a much more specific
Yeah, this is
story.
how corporations work sometimes. This is just like they just make decisions for one team, and they make a different decision for a different team, and they could be very disparate in the end. And PSVR 2 feels done. Just feels like we are already well past that. It came out last year, and it really had no life this year. So
no shot.
Speaking of something that is dead or maybe not, Beyond Good and Evil's remaster includes a new mission that will connect it to the second game.
Yeah, there really is no news. If you're fucking talking about Beyond Good and Evil right now, what's happening?
Apparently they tweeted like today or yesterday or something. They're like, no, Beyond Good and Evil 2 is still coming.
Cool.
Who's making? But who wants Beyond? Like, I love Beyond Good and Evil. Don't get me wrong. I was so excited at the prospect of all of that. And then that initial trailer came out with the monkeys. Oh no, there was the initial tease where it's like
right, 16 years ago.
Yeah, Uncle Paige and Jade on that car 16 years ago. Shut up.
Yep.
And then the 2017 one where it's like that monkey swearing, and I was like, oh, you don't know what Beyond Good and Evil is at all, do you?
Mm-hmm.
And then they were like, Joseph Gordon-Levitt came in and he was gonna do his user-generated content game. Michel Ancel left.
Yep.
And then I don't know what we're doing anymore. Who wants Beyond Good and Evil 2 at this point?
I don't want that Beyond Good and Evil 2. And I don't think we're gonna get that Beyond Good and Evil 2. So whenever we talk about this, I'm like, yeah, Beyond Good and Evil 2 is dead. That game that we saw that they've announced, I still believe is just done. We probably will get something eventually called Beyond Good and Evil 2. That will probably come out. So yeah, I'm sure they are working on something. But what does it end up looking like? Just make it a small game like the first one. Like just do that again. So
they're actually playing it right now on Twitch. Ubisoft's official one with Chris Waters and Chastity.
Are they playing
our pals? They
the
playing
remaster?
The new one. Yeah.
Okay, so the
remaster.
Yes, and the remaster again will have a new mission connecting to the second game. So there will be a narrative link of some sort. So they have plans in the works. But yeah, we'll see. This game is coming out June 25th.
Here we go. Hang on.
So
we understand that you have a lot of. The game comes out today?
Yeah, Beyond Remaster comes out today. Yes.
Okay. Virtuos made it. It'll be available on Steam. It'll be $20. Beyond Good and Evil 2 is still in development, and we cannot wait for you to discover more about Jade's past. So it's a prequel.
Right. That's different than what they've talked about at all before.
And then, yes, it's a picture of Rayman that is featured in the trailer, and there's a video and more to discover in the anniversary gallery.
I do genuinely wonder how much of any podcast or video game podcast listening audience has played Beyond Good and Evil or even thinks about Beyond Good and Evil. So it's like at this point, like for me, it was like, oh yeah, a new GameCube game that kind of plays like Zelda. That's cool. I really like this. That's fun. Yeah. And then it became a cult hit. But I gotta imagine that cult hit status is not maintained over the years.
That's the thing. I played it 2010-ish, and I loved it. But like, I don't want to play it again now because I feel like those memories. It was I don't know.
Yep, it's a strange one. We'll see. I will be interested. I guess people can go find out what that narrative link is right now, or maybe they won't even be able to tell until the second game comes out. It will be so subtle. Who knows? Last couple of stories here. Nintendo won't reveal Mario and Luigi's new developer, but says original staff are involved. Nintendo has announced Mario and Luigi Brothership, the first new entry in the series in almost 9 years, but it won't talk about who the developer is. Some of the original developers of the Mario and Luigi series are involved in the development on this new team. Again, they won't say who that team is. This has led people to speculate that it could be Ilka, which has about a dozen former Alpha Dream employees. Alpha Dream, for people who don't remember, went bankrupt in 2019 after Nintendo greenlit a bunch of their projects that were like remakes of previous Mario and Luigi games for the 3DS late in the 3DS's life when no one was buying 3DS games anymore. So, yeah. And then finally, Limited Run Games 2024 showcase happened. They showed off Fighting Force Collection. Tomba 2 Remaster also got announced, Jan.
Wow.
No release date for that, but Tomba Special Edition is still coming out August 1st. So you got to do that first. Fear Effect, the lesbian game. This one's for you, Bacalar. Yep, there you go. That one's
Something for everyone.
that was coming out in 2025 for everything except for Xbox. And Square Enix is also involved in that game in some way. Clock Tower Rewind, physical editions launching this fall. And then Bubsy in the Perfect Collection is coming out this year, I think. I think it's this year, and it's going to have all the Bubsy games, excuse me, including Bubsy 3D. And they said they're going to sand off the rough edges, I should say, which they shouldn't. They should just leave that thing dead and buried and nuke it from orbit. But yeah, at the very least, Limited Run Games always doing fun and interesting things. I'm always into what they've got coming. So very cool.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I played way too much Fighting Force as a kid.
Fighting Force.
Oh
is
my
like,
god, I love Fighting Force.
Yes, it was like that's like a beat 'em up, right?
Yeah, it was like a Final Fight-ish kind of thing.
Right, and it was from the Tomb Raider team. Is that because I was like, why was I paying attention to it?
Yeah, it's like the most Dreamcast ass
Sure, I see what you
PlayStation
mean.
1 game, right? Like, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm curious about it, but yeah, Marino says it's terrible. Don't go back. We're going.
I'm
back.
sure it's
going back.
bad, but
We're
I don't know.
going back.
Like I went back to Final Fight the other day, which I guess we shouldn't really be comparing them, but like Final Fight still fucking rips.
Final Fight is fantastic. Of course it is. All right, that does it for the news. Jan, I'm handing the show back over to you.
I appreciate everyone that the brand is strong because I saw everyone tagging Grub when the Bubsy announcement hit, and then everyone also was
I don't
tagging me
appreciate it.
when Tomba hit.
It's big moments for you guys.
Nope.
God,
I have
love
no
that.
relation to that fucking cat. Leave me
I
alone.
love that pink-haired freak. I do a Delight Club any fucking
Yeah, I don't think I've ever actually played Tomba, so I'll be the delighter or the delightee.
So good, so good. You befriend Santa in the game because shoot Santa.
Hell yeah.
It's great. It's great. And you fight the police or just a bunch of pigs.
Oh fuck them.
Yeah. Folks, that does it for the news. We're gonna take another quick break, and we'll be back with emails right after this. Emails. Bombcast at giantbomb.com is the email address to send your emails to. Send any and everything you want, whether it be questions about games or the current state of video games, perhaps a quiz, assumptions on the staff, or whatever you want it to be. Whatever you want it to be.
Just open up the floodgates there, Jan.
Let's
my
go.
bud.
Yeah, it's fun. It's fun.
Sure.
Every time I see certain parts of Star Wars Land, I do think of you. And we'll leave it at that. We'll leave it.
It's fucked up.
It's all kindness. It's all fondness. All right.
Yeah, fineness.
okay.
There's nothing evil associated with any of that.
With Disney?
Wow,
Oh,
we
Lucy.
we can't.
Yeah, I know.
Lucy, they think I'm a space Nazi. Okay, how's that? Try that on. Try that on. And
Yeah, you an Imperial.
yeah, oh no, it's just the story writes itself. I guess it's so obvious to everyone.
She's 7. Why does she still ask me for permission to eat? Like,
Did he freeze or did I freeze?
oh,
Oh, you froze, Lucy.
Wait.
hello. There
Oh,
we
you're
are.
back.
Froze.
Wait,
Yeah, you did.
You did for a second,
well,
but
the
you're
thing
back.
is the Grub and Jan were still moving, and you froze for me, so I thought I came out. on top.
Weird.
Yeah, video Ninja can be a little weird about that stuff.
So she's asking for
Hey, can I have
permission
this?
to
Can I have? I'm
eat?
like, yeah, you're hungry. Eat. You're 7. You could decide to eat.
Yeah, up and Grub's gone. Okay, all right. So it was a Grub thing.
Yeah, I told you.
Oh, he left. Don't do
Yeah.
that, Grub. Why'd you leave?
Oh,
It's
no.
fine. He'll be back in a second.
But does it mess with
No.
Jan's Windows? Oh no, there he is.
Okay.
No,
Hey!
yeah, it works. Yeah, he's
Hey,
good.
Windows. Okay. All right. I'm gonna read the first email.
I stopped recording. I'm just joking.
Yeah.
First email comes from Joe in Michigan. What's the least searchable game? BG3 always leads to Baldur's Gate 3. DD2 isn't sure if it's Darkest Dungeon, Dragon's Dogma, or Dungeon Defender, but it can usually get there with the context words like DD2 Sexiest Pawns.
Oh.
PPS, PP Show, PP Showtime, Princess P Show, and Princess Peach Emoji Showtime all just lead to porn. Love you all.
Sure.
Joe in
Sure.
Michigan.
Well,
Least searchable.
Is there a game called The Movies?
yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, wet.
What? Okay, yeah. That'd be difficult.
Control.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm like X-Cake said gun.
Okay.
Oh, there are some games in here like
Yeah, but you know what? If you search like wet the video game, you're fine. Like,
Well,
come on.
like,
Have you been
would
on
we get,
Steam
like,
recently?
Puddlegate
Yeah.
coming up, you know?
Sure. I've been on Steam, Lucy. I just didn't know about the cheat thing. Okay.
No, but I meant like in terms of the
Wet
erotic
games.
games.
All right, I just searched for Wet Game on Steam, and Resident Evil 2, Timberborn. I don't think Wet's on here. Automobilista 2.
I just need to share this. That's been on
Automobilista.
my phone.
Actually, oh my God. Okay, the like 8th game on here is called Opie Succubus Academy, Sucky and Busty, Demonic and Lusty. That's the real name. I swear to God. Steam rules.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Maybe we should stop video games.
Oh
I think we've had
man.
enough video games.
Like, Elden Ring is pretty good. This would be a good one to end on, guys.
Yeah, you're right. We did it.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't know. Mercenaries is also hard. Haze, a lot of them.
A lot of
them have
games.
that.
Yeah.
Okay. Too Human, the video game. Do you think that is on the first page of results at all?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Too Human. Yeah, that's like they got pictures and everything.
Okay,
Like, 'cause-
all right.
Yeah. There's definitely some on there that like there's definitely some that I've been in the past been like, man, but why this is not coming up at all when I search for it, but I can't remember what they were.
What if you just put Gears?
No, I bet that's gonna work. Yeah.
Yeah.
'cause-
Yeah, it comes up. Oh no, it comes up with mechanical gears. for
yeah,
me.
but if you just start typing gears though,
it,
It'll
types,
autofill,
it comes
yeah.
up Gears of War.
yes,
Yeah.
it's in the people also search for at least.
Yeah.
Okay, that's fun. All right, cool.
Before we get to the next email, can I break in with a live hot off the presses Dan Reichert update?
Oh yeah.
Please, how's Danny Boy
Is he
doing?
dead?
All right.
I survived, bitch. No. Dan says.
My goodness.
Dan said that. No, Dan. He is recovering. It's been a rough recovery for Dan, which I'm sure is exaggerated. No, I'm kidding.
Be nice.
No, he's. It sounds like he's heading in the right direction. He hopes to be back soon, but he's doing well, in good spirits, and we wish him a speedy and quick return because, for the most part, we enjoy his company.
Yeah, I think he did mention that he is tasting things a little bit differently now, so we'll put all that to the test.
We're gonna have the ultimate sniff and taste update when
will
he's
run
back
the
in the
gamut.
chair. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Immediately mess up
We
his
will
sinuses,
pummel
though.
that man's sinuses with
No.
every scent and smell and flavor we can imagine.
Jen, that's where you're wrong, good friend. You gotta, as soon as you get those senses back, you gotta bombard them with everything
Yeah.
that they can handle.
We gotta blast them.
Just
You
put
gotta
it through
blast-
a gauntlet. Run a train on those
Exactly.
sinuses.
We are gonna take him everywhere, and he is gonna smell everything.
We're gonna take him to the Cheesecake Factory.
Sure.
was
He's
thinking
gonna
of-
smell piss. He's gonna smell piss for the first time.
I was thinking of the Cheesecake Factory the other day and was like, man, I'd like to go to the Cheesecake Factory.
Yeah,
Well, 'cause
that's a good
the one in
normal
San
thought.
Francisco's staying, right? We should just go.
Yeah, it's gonna
Like,
be
we should-
above the Nintendo store. So two
Is
birds,
that
one
when
seed.
Nintendo's moving in?
Yeah.
Downtown is saved, by the way. We're getting a
Wait.
Nintendo store. Fuck all y'all.
Wait, the Cheesecake Factory in SF is not closing?
No,
It's at the top of the Macy's, which
Yeah,
but the Macy's is closing, but I think they can only move out if they find someone to take all that retail space, which, let's be real here, is not going to happen.
Not going to
So,
happen. Okay, all right. I just want to make sure because I can't go back to SF if there's no Cheesecake Factory.
Sure,
yeah,
that
that's
makes
fair,
sense.
that's
we
fair.
Yeah.
can come to San
We don't ha-
Mateo.
We don't have any,
Sure.
we barely have any chain restaurants or anything.
that's okay.
Like, it's pretty bad.
It's fine, guys. We don't need to eat at chains. There's independently owned restaurants.
I moved here for the true American experience, Jan, and I can't. Although there
true.
is a combination Taco Bell, KFC.
That's important. That's our culture.
Yeah, that's where I worked for 5 days. We do have a nice Taco Bell by the beach, though. It's in
Oh, I
Pacifica.
went to opening weekend, the Pacifica one.
Yeah.
I literally went to opening weekend. That was my first ever Taco Bell.
Is that the one that serves alcohol?
Yeah. You get
Oh, that's
alcoholic Baja
cool.
Blast.
I'd like
All right,
to
take
go
me
to
there.
that.
Yeah, take me that.
I'd
Yeah.
like to do that.
It was
Oh
great.
my gosh,
You
guys!
should dress up.
Let's just have a vacation GB team retreat. Just all pile up in my apartment. Lucy and Tam also, even though you guys live here, just pile it all up in.
Okay, I was gonna say we could also offer a couch. I have a blow-up bed.
It's my quest to steal the old giant bomb couch from the fandom office.
Oh,
I
we could make that
genuinely
happen.
think you could take it and no one would.
No one would say anything.
Well, no, the only person who would notice would be Max Blumenthal because he records stuff in there. So
Oh,
Oh, sorry.
I don't know. I think you could go. IKEA has a 50% off sale on right now. You could just replace it.
are you guys like me and you've sort of reached the age where like if someone presents
No.
the idea, well that's true, but if someone presents the idea of a blow up bed and you just cannot imagine a worse night of sleep
Well,
in your
no,
entire life?
like a blow-up bed or an air mattress.
The tech
What's the difference?
has gone
Yeah.
up though.
Because a blow-up bed is like, my assumption would be like you blow it up and just hope for the best. An air mattress is like can actively get more air if you need it.
Oh yeah, I have an electronic air mattress, as in like it has the plug already.
Built in? Yeah, I got
Yeah.
one of them, Jimmy.
Air mattresses are really comfortable. I don't know. I think they're great.
My couch
Oh,
is incredible.
alright.
So
Oh,
Yeah.
hey, I will take a couch over a blow up bed or
Why?
that-
But no, couches like most couches are going to be way more uncomfortable than an air mattress. 'Cause they're gonna have
no,
the
I think air. There's
rings in the
something.
gaps.
Unless there's like some sort of pillow mechanism in the air mattress, like a pillow
They're nice
top.
now,
Yeah,
though.
yeah, they do have that. A lot of
They
them
do,
have that.
they do.
Yeah.
But like a couch to me, like I fall asleep on couches pretty easily for a second. I never nap. I just like I doze off and then I'm up again. Like something about the air part of them. It's like it's not comfortable to me. Yeah, it's like
Yeah.
I'm sleeping on a balloon. Like
What
I don't-
about a
it's-
beanbag?
if-
What a
yeah.
little sack.
no,
Yeah,
no,
yeah,
no, no,
you
no,
do
no.
a
You don't want a
sack.
beanbag. No, I
Why?
can say I can say from experience. So I had a beanbag the size of a single bed, right? And this was in my little like hangout zone. I have a PlayStation, and I was play video games. One day I come home and my mum has sold my bed. Okay, she sells the bed. I believe with the
And
with the
that
intent-
is
Have I
that,
crashed? Have they
folks.
left?
Oh,
No, she's back.
I'm back.
She's
Okay.
back.
My mum sells my bed. And I believe it's with the intent of getting me a new, better bed. It takes us 6 months, okay? So I have to sleep on a beanbag the size of a single bed for 6 months.
That's fucked up.
Yeah, dude.
Hell yeah.
So
6
don't
months?
do it. You don't want to sleep on a beanbag.
I'm not trying to sleep on a beanbag, but that,
Not
that's-
even once.
Not even once.
Not even once.
how do
Anyway,
you-
the thing is, so I eventually get a bed. It's great. My mum moves house. I believe it's the first year that I'm in San Francisco. I go home for Christmas. Guess fucking what, guys?
Sleeping on a beanbag.
She sold my bed again.
Why is she such a
yeah.
chronic bed seller?
But then she had a spare bedroom, so I could sleep in there. But then she did buy me a new one. So
Oh, okay. She made it right.
Thanks, Mom.
yeah. But
Maybe no thanks as well. All right. I know what gag gift to get Lucy for the holidays now.
I'll come home and I just don't have a bed anymore.
Yep. Next email is all about assumptions and learnings on two specific members of the staff. Dear Bombers, Nikki Grayson and Turbo Sean have been popping up on more and more Giant Bomb content lately. Watching them, I realized that despite having them been part of the Giant Bomb family for a while now, because of most of Nikki's and Turbo Sean's work is behind the scenes, I, as a fan, knew nothing about them. Eventually, I let my curiosity get the best of me, and I did something I almost never do. I Googled these two internet personalities in order to find out more about them. The following fun facts are highlights of what I discovered. Nikki Grayson worked for a variety of companies before working with Giant Bomb, including WhatsApp, Fanbyte, and Activision.
That doesn't sound right.
Turbo Sean has a black belt in a form of karate only taught in Canada.
Oh, someone, what's the
That's true.
joke for that? What is the joke? What is that form of karate called?
Canadian karate. It's like Canadian bacon.
Karate?
Yeah, that's it. Holy shit! Good job.
Yeah, it's karate, eh?
Oh, okay, Lucy, you just posted
I
something.
know. I'm so sorry, but like Dr. Disrespect is using the
What?
verified badge to write up a statement on Twitter.com.
What? What?
Oh my, that's a lot.
Wait,
Oh my god,
what?
he edited the post to edit the word minor out of it.
Wait, what? Wait, why
I
does...
put it in chat.
Oh my god.
Oh, buddy.
Look.
no.
Everyone,
read all
everyone
that.
goes to the
Yeah.
zoo, I guess. I don't know what to tell you.
Okay.
boy.
Oh boy.
Nikki Grayson is an avid soccer fan and once traveled to Australia to see a FIFA World Cup match.
I knew that.
Nah,
I didn't know that.
I don't think so.
Yep, they went like 2 years, maybe 2 years ago.
Wait,
A
it
year
was
ago?
like
No,
yeah,
pretty recently.
It was recently, yeah.
Yeah.
When?
Like-
It was maybe
like
a year ago.
Maybe a year ago. 6 months to a year ago. Yeah.
Yeah.
Turbo Sean filled his smoke detectors with gunpowder in order to make them more effective.
That's right.
What?
You don't know this about him?
No.
Nikki Grayson is lactose intolerant, but
Why is
takes
that?
lactose in order to enjoy the occasional dairy-based treat.
Nikki,
Turbo Sean.
Nikki
Okay.
and I were the same.
Turbo Sean was once arrested on suspicion of cannibalism, but was exonerated when it was discovered that the human skeleton with bite marks was in his possession for unrelated reasons.
Where,
Yeah, happens to us all.
where is the? Why is this searchable? What is happening?
Nikki Grayson has played Sonic 06 to completion.
That's impossible.
Turbo Sean owns a plot of land in Louisiana that exists on no map other than the one that was recovered from the vault of a sunken riverboat.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
believe
totally.
that.
It's one of my mods. I know this. Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Nikki Grayson wore a one-piece jumpsuit with no undershirt for their first major appearance on Giant Bomb. Yeah, I believe it. Sure. Yeah. Turbo Sean once siphoned gas from a moving car.
You
Does it
can't
all the
even do
time.
that. Can you even do that?
Sean did it.
Yeah. Maybe
Why
you
are all
can't.
the
Sounds like a
ones
skill
about-
issue.
Why are all the
issue.
ones about Sean like some Steven Seagal bullshit?
Well, have you ever seen them in the same place at the same time?
Good point.
So that's all I found out about the newest bombers, and I know what you're thinking. If Nikki wore a one-piece jumpsuit with no undershirt, then that means they would basically had to get naked in order to poop. That's all I can say is that Nikki is probably a villain, and we should take care not to cross them. Yeah,
Definitely.
that's true. Yes.
Okay.
Anyway, do y'all have any interesting facts about your coworkers that you'd like to share? Sincerely,
You stole
Pocono
mine.
Paul.
I don't think so.
Oh, actually, yes. Grub loves taking pictures.
Yes, I do.
Yeah.
And I don't ever like to do the thing like, all right, everyone, we're taking a picture. I always
Oh,
like
you do.
candids.
Yeah.
Candids are way better.
Ash, who did the sound for GB at SGF, sent a bunch of pictures.
Yes, whenever people take pictures, he says, I like to take pictures of the person taking the picture because they're never in the picture. And so he had 1 million of those. It was great.
Very sweet. Shouts out to Ash.
Yep. Great work.
What's another like fun thing?
It's funny because I think everything is just out there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a couple things that we just won't say, but yeah.
We all love protecting the hive.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're big into protecting the hive now with Giant Bomb.
Yeah.
Maybe we always have been.
Yeah. We're all a bunch of like queen slayers in our own way. Next email comes from Alex in Bendigo, Australia. First, I hope you had a nice holiday, Jan, and sorry you have to read this. I've always been a shoe-on boy. So I'll take them off when asked. But here's my problem. If it's about you thinking shoes are dirtier than feet, then I have a question for you. Would you pick up someone else's shoe to move them? Sure you would. Probably wouldn't think twice about it. But then would you touch my feet? Surely you would, since they're cleaner than my shoes.
This is such a fallacy.
Apologies again, Alex in Bendigo, Australia.
Okay. What smells worse after a long day? The outside of your shoe or the inside of your shoe?
Say it again?
What smells worse at the end of a normal day?
Sure.
The outside of your shoe or the inside of your shoe?
Obviously the inside.
Because there's more bacteria growing in there. Your feet. Listen, I have no problem. I'll take my shoes off. That's fine.
100
But people are crazy if they're like, well, that's definitely cleaner. If it's just about dirt, then you're fine.
It's not about cleaner because bacteria is fine. Our bodies
bacteria here, yes.
Our bodies like know what to do with it for the most part. I think there's something about like the bottom of your shoe. It's almost like a symbolic thing, I think.
That's definitely what it is, yes.
Where
absolutely.
It's like, oh, you could have also just like walked through dog shit and now you're gonna like come into my kitchen.
And like the bottom of the shoe is like a cultural, like it's culturally insensitive in a lot of places. You're showing the bottom of your shoe to people, like, yes.
And I think there's something like instinctual about that, right? I think there's something like organic about having like your outside barriers touch my floor. I think that's like a thing. I get it. I totally get that your feet are gross. They're going to smell. Bodies smell. We know they smell, and we let each other inside each other's houses all the time. So like I definitely think it's more like a respectful thing than it is like cleanliness, but also dog shit and piss.
Yeah.
I mean, I live in San Francisco. There are any
Human
one time
shit.
so many kinds of bodily waste on the ground.
Right. People treat the streets like a garbage can. So
Like a toilet sometimes.
yeah.
And I love keeping my shoes on, but I like inside other people's houses, like I would be like, no, I would definitely take it off, especially if we're going to be walking on anything carpeted. I'd be like, no way.
My
I can't.
entire apartment, except for my bathroom and my kitchen, is carpeted.
Yeah,
so.
I'd be like, no way, I feel too bad.
Oh, a carpeted kitchen is just the most insane.
Well, no, I don't have a carpeted
No, I
kitchen.
know. I'm just thinking about a kitchen that's carpeted now. That just sounds so insane to me.
When I was a kid, our bathroom was carpeted.
Shut
I hate that.
dude.
How's
so
that
much.
happen?
Ooh.
Was that an accident?
War crimes.
Someone did that. Someone
It's
added
like an
the carpet.
overzealous carpenter was like, well, I got some extra. Why not?
Yeah.
Weird.
No longer.
Okay, well, I'm sorry. Lucy, I'm learning so much about your childhood.
Oh my god, it's just like
I mean,
Oh.
I do that thing every so often where I just kind of drop a bit of lore.
I love
You
the
know,
Lucy lore.
like I'm breadcrumbing my lore like an Elden Ring character.
So what was the process like? What was the protocol like in the carpeted bathroom? I
I
just
didn't
don't.
piss on the floor. Like,
Of course
what do
not.
you mean?
I didn't accuse you of that.
Because
but-
I would have to sit down because I'd be worried about splashback. Because
Right,
even like a
like-
few particles in the carpet, you're like, well, that is disgusting.
Oh,
So
I just don't understand. Like
It
the
was
person who
It was
carpet.
just me and my mum, so like we didn't
Sure.
have any.
Bunch of sitters. Yeah, I get it.
okay, great.
I don't feel good anymore.
But also, we would put a bath mat down.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
So-
Sure. You put carpet on your carpet. I get it. I get it.
I mean, in my hideous carpet in here, I put carpet on carpet to try and cover the fact that it's it is a beige that I'm pretty sure is unnatural, and I'm sure is only this color because of years of buildup of
It's just like
gross
the
stuff.
person laying down the carpet to first do it in the bathroom and then like They do. They finish the job and they're just like, "Well, this looks normal and right," and closes the door. This is like nothing's gonna absorb there. That's
It
cool.
was a big thing like it was a thing for sure.
Oh yeah, no.
Was it
It
like
wasn't just
when? Like the 80s?
the
I think
70s.
I think
The
good old Ben
70s?
Pack had like a carpeted bathroom at one point too.
Oh,
I've
dear.
definitely been in one before. I don't
just-
remember where.
Just the idea of like carpet like going right up to the porcelain to me.
I
is
hate
just
it.
So
I
fucking
really hate
crazy.
it. Yes.
Like
Bad. It's a bad feel.
what a dumb thing.
Bad foot feel.
Next email, forgot to write in the emailer's name here. They write in, "Hey GB crew, I would like to give Grub notice that he has affected someone's way of addressing their kids and have developed a verbal tick, if you will. My wife noticed, that I was saying this constantly when my newborn son was making sounds or my daughter asked me something while I'm busy with work or gaming. When called upon, I respond with a confident, 'What's up, buddy?' Now, when she asked when did I start saying that line, I couldn't figure out until I was watching Grub on a VOD, and while busy changing a nappy, I hear it, 'What's up, bud?' So Grub, I hope you understand that you are changing the way we speak to the world's future leaders. Congrats. Love the team. Regards."
Yeah, I don't know if I can take full credit for that. It feels like a natural thing to just like say to a
Yeah.
kid, right? What's up, buddy?
Yeah, not to take anything away from you. I think if this person was calling their kids like gimmicks, that would be certainly a
Right.
very specific influence. But like,
Yeah.
I feel like I know a lot of people that say that.
It's a good
buddy,
thing. I think it makes the kid feel
sweetheart.
good.
Yeah, so sweetie
so,
boy. You know?
I definitely do say it a lot. So I'm sure I have said it on content. But I feel like the bigger influence there is you becoming a parent, I believe, and it just naturally happening.
I've heard you say "What's up, homie" a lot, specifically to the gimmicks.
Yes,
What's
yeah,
up,
that,
homie?
yeah. Usually that's when they're like coming in hot.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, Dad, sometimes I'm like, all right, what's up, homie? What's going on? Like that's like, well, let's get real, all
You're caught
right?
by surprise here.
Yeah, huh?
It did get a pop out of me. It might have been the other day when one of the gimmicks comes up and then you just said, "Yeah, homegirl was blah blah blah."
At a certain point, it's just easier than remembering their names. Am I right? Come on, there's two of them. That's way too many.
Folks, I use the word homie and homegirl a lot in my day-to-day vernacular. Is it okay to say home them? No? For our NB folks?
That's
Why
the
not?
thing, because like, homie to me is gender neutral, just like
Yeah, but you always got to do the
but-
test.
Yeah.
You got to ask Jeff Grubb, would you have sex with a homie? And it's like, oh, I don't.
Why
Okay,
is that the test?
because people say, oh, dudes is gender neutral, and then you ask the same people that say that, well, then would you kiss a dude? And they're like, oh, okay, well maybe it's not gender neutral anymore. So it's like
All right.
it's got to be sort of like
I use
it has to
mate.
work in all contexts.
I use mate, but I'm British, so I can get away with it.
Mate?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've tried to
Mate
work
one.
I
mate in.
I like
it,
mate.
It doesn't
Mate.
fit out of my mouth.
I want to do more mates.
I feel like I can't pull off them. And no one's stopping you back. Like, do all
Yeah,
the
I'm
mates
gonna
you
do more
want.
mates. I decided. I'm calling it a thing now.
Nikki has chimed in that homie is gender neutral, so I will just be rolling with homie.
Rolling with the
Hell yeah.
homie. There you go. There
Hey.
you go.
Hey. I asked Grub to send me miscellaneous clips that he had recorded over Summer Game Fest because I'm just compiling a bunch of those together for a vlog of sorts. And then I came across the one where I thank you, Always Be Clothing, where I pull out a bottle of Slurricane and Hennessy, and then there is a complete shift in my demeanor. And it's like a +10 something when I'm.
It was
the
very
bottle of
similar
Hennessy.
to when I asked about what is hyphy. If you were witness to that, it was basically the same thing, but for Slurricane.
Got a little bit louder and a little bit more heated, and no one can get mad at me for that.
No.
I think I'm normally cordial, but I think Bailey was asking like, "What's Slurricane?" And then I just became very ignorant and loud. And then I may have convinced some elder statesmen of games media to take some Henny with me.
Enabler.
And then Matthew Rory just stole it and made it his.
I think I immediately went looking for Michael Heim afterwards.
Yeah, yeah.
All right, last two emails of the show. ABC, thank you so much. Shouts out to the homie. Teaching skills. Hey, duders. Long time, first time. If Mario teaches typing, what video game characters should teach other subjects? Master Chief's PE? Bubble Bobble teaches molecular biology? Cheers, Jack from Oregon.
It's a good question.
Yeah, Mega Man teaches sex ed. Yeah.
Oh no!
Yeah? You think so?
Bloodborne teaches family planning.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Luigi should do something real unimportant.
Right. Something where he can't hurt himself.
Yeah, where he can't accidentally stab himself with something sharp.
Yeah.
Luigi. Oh no, Waluigi would be like your drama teacher. Like Waluigi
Sure.
teaches acting.
Yes. Okay. I like that.
Toad just has like a stand-up workshop. He's got Type 5 and wants to show you how to work on your stand-up.
For some reason, I'm on Universal Toad TikTok because that suit is so restrictive that the Toad can only come out and go.
Okay.
And that's
just-
it?
Someone give
Okay,
that.
sure.
Oh shit!
Well, it's always
Do the rolling
Nintendo
with the
people.
homies.
Yeah. It's always Nintendo people you go to for this stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
I mean, okay. What about
Bubsy teaches like war crimes.
Astrobot teaches us the joy of.
PlayStation.
Astrobot's
in
a
every
money
subject.
manager, fiduciary.
Duke Nukem leads an HR workshop.
Yeah, Duke Nukem is
That's like-
without a doubt like community service for
Yes,
sure.
that's right. He's doing community service. Exactly.
Right. Grub, I'm going to throw one at you. I'm going to throw a video game character, and you just respond with the first subject you think they should teach. Okay?
All right.
The girl in Fatal Frame.
You know those duck boat tours? She'll be a guide on one of those on the microphone, telling people about the city you're in. Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
yeah.
Lucy, the dude protagonist from Silent Hill 2. I forget his name.
Oh, couples counseling.
Oh, that's good. That's
Oh,
good.
wow.
Jeff Backlar, don't fail me now.
Oh boy.
Cooking Mama.
Oh, it's just a nutritionist.
Okay. All right. I like that. I like
Yeah.
that. We're all
It's easy. Yeah, we're all.
All right, everybody. The final email of the show. I love when I come across the emails and I have no idea what they're talking about because that means I missed a fun week. Hey, Bomb Crew. The nosebleeds that anime characters get when they're horny is meant to visualize the blood rushing to their head. As for where it originated, who knows? Maybe someone broke their nose and got horny at the same time. Just one of the great mysteries of the world. Thanks, Cody from Philly.
So
From my
this-
iPhone.
This is cool because this came over from Jeff's, right? Luce, we were talking about horny blood nosebleeds.
You brought it up on the dump truck as well, I believe.
Okay. Yeah. I don't like this explanation because it implies that like somehow the blood in your head is leaking out of your nose. Like what is that?
There was a caller on the voicemail dump truck that I didn't include last week that said it is like a way of signifying that they are so horny, but in a way that's like more safe that they could put on screen rather than have other fluids involved. So, and I was like, I don't know if I buy that explanation either.
It's pretty graphic, if we're being honest.
Yeah.
Like, give me like I don't know, like spirals in my eyes or something. How about that instead of
Right.
like?
Well, does that ever happen to you?
Yeah, but I don't get a horny nosebleed. And then you had like Tam and John being like, I've had one of these, or an episode, and I just don't believe them. So, yeah, I don't know. If you've had nice, if you've had a horny nosebleed, please call in.
No,
Sound
don't.
off in
or
chat.
email into this show or the dump truck.
Chat, have you ever had a horny nosebleed?
We'll allow both of those on both of these channels. I really just I don't know.
First, I had my first nosebleed maybe 3-4 years ago, and that shit is terrifying.
Sure.
I've never had one.
Were you horny though?
Incredibly.
Well, because on sight of the blood, but before that.
Yeah, incredibly.
Oh shit. Okay, maybe there is some truth to this connection.
All right, that about does it for emails. Once again, you can send your emails to bombcast@giantbomb.com. I read all of them. And I savor them. I print them out and I put them on my mom's fridge. And then she asks, "What are you doing here? Why are you using the printer?" And then I tell her, "Mom, technically, I bought the printer, so
Yeah,
I can do
get her
whatever I
ass.
want with it."
Yep. It's my life.
Folks, what did we learn today? We learned that I'm no little clown boy because I'm Jan Prime. We learned that Grub would love to work on an oil rig. We learned that Bacalar is the most online person now because he knew what Haktua meant. We learned that it is now Lucy's goal to get Guy Fieri on Star Players. And maybe you don't leak your leakers. We learned that Dan is healing. We learned a lot about bacteria and scents and socks and shoes. I hope that everyone is also updating their current wiki articles of the Lucy lore, as we learned that Lucy slept on a beanbag for 6 months. We learned that whenever you approach your own children, you should say, "What's up, homie?" And we also learned that homie is gender neutral. And we also learned that Lucy James is our star player. Go check out Star Player now on GameSpot's YouTube. And that about does it for what we learned this week. Oh, it's not doing the thing right.
Oh, no.
Folks, it's a good week. It feels good to be back. It feels good to be podcasting.
Thanks for coming back, Jan.
Yeah.
I thought, what if I just leave?
We'll Google
Thanks
you
for
one
not
day.
abandoning
You're
us.
running the most successful coffee cart on Maui.
Yo, real talk, spent like evenings at the beach watching the sun go down. There was this elderly gentleman, like big boy, and he would just like walk straight into the ocean until his head disappeared.
Hell
and
yeah,
then
that
just like
rules.
float. And then
Nice.
I looked at
that
my
for him.
partner, I'm like, "Man, I want to be that guy." And then she was like, "Your dumbass needs to learn how to swim." She didn't say dumbass.
Do you think you're denser
I
than
think that's
most
what it is.
people?
I think I'm denser because of my physique and that I have too much stuff going on in my head that prevents
Yeah.
me.
Too many
I was thinking
thoughts.
like, yeah, swimming's easy. I was talking to you and Nikki, and then I'm like, well, for me, like I just go in there and I kind of just almost float accidentally, and if like that's not happening to them, it's probably a little scarier.
I went snorkeling and that was terrifying. As someone that doesn't know how to swim, I was
Yeah.
just perilously
no.
floating.
Not for me.
That being said, I had a great time in Maui. Go check out First Wave Coffee. This music is still playing. What the hell? Okay, hold on. Let me just play stop.
Just unplug
There
the
we go.
Goxler.
Yeah.
I'm gonna throw it into a volcano. Folks, thanks for listening.
Stronger.
Thanks for listening to the Giant Bombcast. I've been Jan. He's been Jeff. She's been Lucy. Go check out Star Players, and we will see you next week for another episode of the Giant Bombcast. See you then. Hawk Tua. Spit on that thing. No, don't. I need to stop. This is the outro gets unhinged. Shouts out to everyone. Not specifically shouts out to the GameSpot team helping me find all the skidoo tree stuff. If you're
Yeah.
having trouble in Elden
Shout out to
Ring,
Dave Klein.
go to GameSpot. Got a bunch of stuff. I'm sorry, Scout. The good thing about working here is that while all the videos are in QA before they go out, I just watch them and never comment and just learn all the tips. I'm like, all right, cool, thanks,
I do
Jake.
that too.
The other thing is just going on to Fandom's back end and just like, what's this video about? All right, we'll see you next week. Love you. Goodbye.